honestly don't remember this time.
You weren't there, Trey.
I know.
Well, we went. I'll do it. But
Sure.
also, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you guys know of a website called Software Cascade?
No.
What is that?
Okay, because they were offering Windows 10 Home for $40, and I was thinking about
Oh,
for my PC.
Oh,
there's
But
actually
anyway,
that's been going around a
Software
little bit.
Cascade, authentic software. Let's see what this is.
Kingwin. Anyways, I'll do that while I recap. So,
Ooh.
um, we went back to town and met up with the king, and we talked about where we should go next. And Alice was unconscious, and Happy was dancing. The king met all my gnomes, and Babar took Mimpy's seat, and Mimpy tackled him to the ground. To which then we decided where to go next, which I think it was God, it was up north.
Temple of Kermit.
Yeah, we're going to the Temple of Kermi. Which yeah, it is near Marktopia.
Yep.
Or Markotopia. Because I remember we were going northeast. But we walked outside the castle, and there was this huge fucking crowd of people trying to get in these doors, and we were like, "What's going on?" And this guy was like, "Oh, Gnome Depot is back." So we went in to do some shopping, and we met a dog who apparently runs Home Depot now, or is one of the managers of Home Depot. Gnome Depot. I keep saying Home Depot.
Depot.
He is apparently a consultant. I
I
apologize.
guess.
Um, so he got us. He was able to get us an assistant to figure out what we wanted to buy, who turned out to be Garfield. We chose what we wanted to buy,
Hmm.
and some of us got discounts on some items in a battle of mercantile
Yeah.
wits.
Not to get into this like real quick, Dell, I'm gonna be sending the Alice picture to you in case you wanted to use that instead.
And then that's where the session ended.
Yeah, it was just like 2 hours of shopping. That's really it.
Not like it was.
I'm leveling up.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
leveled up too.
Oh, that's right, we did. And Joe
I guess
got a lot of
we
stuff.
could go over what we all bought.
True, we could actually. Oh,
Uh,
did I mark it all down? I don't remember.
I bought. God damn it, Kevin. I bought the self-assembling armor, uh, Alley Cat Fang daggers, the Assassin's crossbow, Shakespeare's stellar sword, sock puppet, and we bought the cow as a group,
All right, the cow. What?
the forever cow,
We should probably transfer that back to the keep while we can.
probably.
uh, okay. I think I have a good idea of what I have here. Okay, so I was the first. I was the person who wanted to get the Gnome Depot membership, and then we had everyone contribute the funds to buy that, so that we all got like 10 to 40% off depending on the item thing. I got the knife to ring you item, which is a ring that allows me to do something. I guess it's cast ice knife 9 times for the ring using a D20, some other stuff here and there. I got a necklace of the CDC, allowing me to not be afflicted by disease. And then I got Pyro's protection, that allows me to be immune to fire. And then there's a couple of other things. Where are they? Oh, I also got a foghorn. That's fun. I got a hunter's scythe, because a scythe is always a wonderful weapon for a rogue. And I think there's one more thing, but I can't find it, so I'll get back to that when I find it. Traven, what did you get?
I got a serpent's ring and undead tabaxi claws.
What are those two?
Servant's ring is basically like if you remember the wizard spell, Unseen Servant.
Oh, okay. Then there's that. And then what's your other
Un-
thing again?
Undead tabaxi claws, it's just a weapon item. I didn't write down the exact stats. That's my bad.
Oh.
But I knew it added necrotic damage.
Ah, okay. So it works well with your character then. Maybe.
It do.
Kinda.
It do.
I don't know.
And that's it.
That's it. 2 items. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not get my invite, Joe?
Nope.
Invite. Oh boy.
Dill, yeah, if you can spare a moment, could you actually give me the stats for the Tabaxi Clause?
Adds 1d4 necrotic damage when punching.
KK.
1d4 necrotic damage. Oh, you're gonna be hitting every time. Everything's weak to necrotic.
Except things that breathe necrotic.
Like leeches and
You could do what I did, and when I had to do my campaign, if you fought something that was basically of necrotic origin and you attack it with necrotic damage, it just healed it.
well.
That is what I do
Yeah.
for certain things.
Traven,
It makes sense.
I feel like you would be that person to do that though. So you would punch, a necrotic-based enemy and just heal it.
And then one of my players got smart, and he ended up being undead at one point, and he would just do a turn and attack himself. And it would heal him, and it was a part of the rules. He couldn't really abuse it too much because he only had one attack action. But
so you can't always just sit there and heal.
yeah.
That's why you gotta get that ability or whatever that lets you use 2 whole actions. Yay.
I told him even if he did, he'd only be able to do that once. We were late enough in the campaign that it really didn't matter.
It really didn't. I mean, it could have been, the turning tide for anything at that point.
Nah. How much he would actually heal from it? Nah.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, you've seen we had so many close calls and close shaves of like 1 or 2 health left over or something like that, or we got hit with something that actually got us down by 1 or 2 health, and if we got a small heal, we would have survived.
I understand. But how much? The thing about that is in measure with the creatures they fought and their damage output in comparison to how much he would heal, even if his health was low. It didn't really matter. Eventually, he stopped using it altogether because he realized that himself.
Okay, fair enough.
Apparently Skype doesn't sync with regular audio.
Oh no.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Switch over to the commercial break.
I had to go into the settings, edit it through the settings, and it's not like
It's still not doing anything.
No. It's better now. It doesn't sound like you guys are literally on top of me yelling in my ears.
Get on the ground.
Oh, no wonder I'm not really hearing you right. You muted your mic as well, Joe. Okay, that's why. Gotcha.
Yeah, because we're all sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, I get you, but you are a little distant sounding to me, but that's fine. Maybe. I don't know.
Kevin's a hardcore audiophile tonight.
Hush.
Hardcore.
Very
It's
hardcore.
always hardcore audio.
I'm sorry that audio plays a huge role in, enveloping the experience and everything. Because without, I feel sorry for deaf people, but that's another.
But Alice wakes up.
Where are we really at right now? Are we still in Gnome Depot, like inside right now? Because I don't even know if we actually walked out.
You're outside of Gnome Depot.
Okay.
You are going to be heading, I assume, back towards your keep.
Okay, man.
But if there's anything else you want to do in town, you're welcome to do so. Let me take you over to the.
You guys using Harmon's mic right now? Oh, never mind. It sounded like you were just using. Never mind. Okay. Wow, we're back inside the city of Rubico.
Yep.
Why are we here again? I don't remember.
Because you came back to talk to the king.
Did we not just talk with the king before we went shopping to the Gnome Depot?
You did, but you didn't leave the town.
Oh, that's right. Gnome Depot is in the town. For some reason, I thought it was outside the town. Jeez.
So is there anything you four wanted to do in the town now that Alice is also up and ready to go?
Nah.
Well, no. I I mean, we could always go visit Future Times again.
No response, so
Nope,
I
no
assume
response.
we're going to continue on.
Do we have a map for
I
where we're
guess so.
going?
You have a map right now.
The map is in front of us.
Your in-game characters have a map of where we're going.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do have a world map.
Yeah, we do technically have a world map. Each of us, I think. I don't remember if we.
Yeah, and a city map.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we do have the important maps as of right now.
That's what I was going for, because we have a world map, and I knew that, but I didn't know if we had, like, in-depth, like, trails and roads. Because you'll have, like, a world map, but obviously it's not going to go into the nitty-gritty of what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
So, you guys end up leaving the town, the city, and begin your trek towards the keep.
Yes, because we need to get this cow situated somewhere, because Lord knows it's somehow a good idea.
The Happy goes and he picks up the cow and like puts the cow over his shoulder. And begins.
Can we have someone examine this forever cow? Because like we really need to know what it does. I don't.
Somebody's welcome to. You can roll Arcana, Investigation,
I don't
or
know.
whatever.
How much did we pay for it again? I don't remember.
110 gold.
Okay, it better be worth 110 gold.
Better be cool. Investigation.
Hold on.
Does anyone want to?
I gotta look at 5 character sheets to see what's the best investigation.
Okay, because I have 6 Arcana. If no one wants to do that, at least.
I have 3 investigation.
Joe probably already has it with +6. I'm not even gonna bother looking. Although I'll look for Arcana. I have 4 Arcana.
Actually, do I have +7 now?
From your
I do have +7.
Yeah.
I have 4 Arcana with a couple characters.
Okay. Well, does that give us anything that can physically describe the forever cow?
So this cow is black and white.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
The cow has a variety of black spots amongst its white hide, and it looks remarkably similar to just about every other cow you've ever met in your life.
Great info. Yes.
There's nothing that you can physically see that would give that just seems any different from a normal cow.
So no separation from a typical cow. Gotcha.
Alice would like to touch the cow.
I wouldn't want you to touch anything living right now.
So Tonka's gonna catch up to Mimpy and go. Hold on, I gotta think of how his voice was.
Alice proceeds to touch the cow.
The cow is touched.
I couldn't help.
Alice like pokes all the
The
spots.
cow died.
That's what I'm worried about. Damn it.
Like,
I couldn't help but notice back there you didn't really confer with the rest of us about buying a cow. I'm sorry, I thought it was for the benefit of the group. Now we gotta get back to the keep and we're gonna put on this armor here. First of all, I don't even know if I want to get back in the armor with you, you mutton head, but second of all, I want to take a look at this cow you spent 110 gold on. Dude.
Where did you make it?
First one
So,
because it's
You're
a-
rolling
did it
disadvantage
roll
for
like
some
that?
reason.
Just starts poking Happy, thinking it's a cow.
Yeah, wait, why did it roll like that?
You probably have your
Change
thing
normal
marked
instead of
on.
advantage.
Yeah, there's a thing at the top, just under like your name and everything, where it says like advantage, normal, and disadvantage. Just switch it to normal. I think yours is on like one of the others.
Unless it's the issue that we had way before where we didn't really know why it was doing that, and then I found it.
Well,
So wait, in my core?
it's not
it
up
wouldn't.
there.
It would just be like right next to core on the left side. Like, is it say Is it selected on normal?
It's probably what we should be asking. Okay, so click the gear
Yeah, we can
in
just go.
your
Oh, hold on, I exited that character list. Alright, I clicked the gear.
okay, and then on that sheet there should be, I'm trying to see which one it was. There's something in the very far left of all those options that end up just like automatically rolling advantage.
Who's a bull?
Oh,
Basically, you're going to be
Wait,
not.
hold on, I think I turned it off. Harm. Give me one moment.
are you the one clicking me back to core?
Yeah, I fixed it for you.
Okay.
There you go, Dylan. There you go.
It's just
Dylan, the
every
GM.
time I click on the gear, it goes back to core, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's why whenever
Oh, wait,
Dylan's
I
on my
got
sheet,
20.
I like messing with him because I know when he's looking and doing something.
God.
So you're rolling Arcane, and you got that 20 first, and so you open your magical third eye, and before
I
you,
spread my asshole.
Yeah. That what an image, I guess.
so you kind of look, and you're blown away by the amount of magical energy streaming off of this cow.
Good Kirby.
Like you just get on one knee, like it just blows you away.
It's so impressive, even that you would say there's more magic like coming off of this cow than you've met in any creature in your life thus far.
I've never met anything so powerful in all my days.
And then cue the image of Alice poking the cow in all the spots.
So wait, do I
So
just
powerful.
know it's magic? I don't know how it's magic, or
You recognize that the cow is capable of every type of magic. Every type of magic is streaming off of it.
So it's just
I'm getting a sense of
flowing.
everything from this cow.
It's just
And
flooding.
I can't tell why.
Alice like puts the cow's head in her hands, and then she looks it right in its eyes, and she says, "Moo."
thought Alice was gonna eat the cow.
This entire time, it's kind of chewing on grass, and
Even though
it does-
Happy's holding it up.
yeah, still chewing on the same grass.
It's chewing on Happy's head. But Happy doesn't throw it.
Well, actually, now that I
that.
think about it,
That.
Do they
you're not
eat?
able to like actually. You're not level with the cow's eyes, Alice, because the cow's on the shoulders of Happy,
Happy's like what, 6-7 foot?
7 feet tall.
Yep. He's a big one.
Oh.
So Kevin
well,
could probably be high level.
So like, well, she could probably from our tippy top, because if she's bending the cow over, the cow's head's probably at least at the 6 foot to 5 foot range, and she's only 5.
I mean, like
like-
you can look into its eyes from a lower position.
But
But she has the hands on the cow's head,
That's fine.
and she looks into its eyes and says "moo,"
No response.
and then she's like, "Dang it!"
what were you expecting, Alice?
The cow to go. She finds the cow kind of cute.
And they regurgitate from each stomach and reach you and eat their food.
That's actually why Alice likes the cow. I'm just letting you guys know. The whole anatomy of the cow is what she finds adorable.
Well, now that our anatomically correct stuff is figured out,
Shall we?
I
shall
guess is there anything else you guys want to do with the cow?
Alice starts petting the cow.
I don't know. What can we really do with it? I guess we just
I'd like
take
to
it back
attempt-
to the keep first, and then.
You want to milk the cow
Right now.
right now, and like as you're
Right now, right on
Can
Happy's
you
shoulder.
Okay.
reach the cow?
Are you?
Nope.
I'm gonna need animal handling. You got, and I assume you tell Happy, and Happy like takes the cow from his shoulder and like puts the cow down on the ground.
Yes, a nice,
Um,
nice one. How heavy is a cow? Like 500 pounds or something like that? More? I don't know how heavy a cow actually is.
I don't know.
Way
Probably more than that.
Way more, probably. Yeah, maybe.
Um,
Yeah.
what are you rolling animal handling for, Draven?
Huh? Oh no, that was to make it move.
Yeah, he was just.
Oh, okay,
telling-
sorry.
yeah.
So Joe, you're going to be able to milk this cow, but you're kind of mediocre at it. So like you've probably milked a cow once or twice in your entire life.
With 0
I don't think he would have
So
cows
you
and
read about it then, and you go and you crouch before this
he
cow.
goes on ahead and just squeezes one of the teats, and a little tiny stream of milk comes out.
Starts squeezing those teats, and you see this.
Yep.
I'm gonna change that
Alice
before
is
I
still
say
petting the
that.
cow's head. She's like rubbing it.
As you're like milking it, this rainbow-colored like liquid just kind of starts streaming out of its udder.
Oh no!
Are you?
I'm gonna drink it.
You're gonna drink it right from the teat?
You're just gonna drink it? No!
Saving throw.
Alrighty.
This isn't a negative thing. Like this isn't killing you or anything. This is just determining the properties of the milk henceforth.
Well, he's safe, so.
You drink it and your mind just fucking explodes for a brief moment.
Oh,
You-
that's good.
For just like a sliver of time, you feel the energy of the world around you. You feel probably about 7 dimensions worth of energy just kind of all flowing in at once for a brief second, and then it's over. And you suddenly know that this cow is key to saving the world. And you also
petting
store
that cow.
1d4 golf.
So,
Boy.
I mean, I'm just staring at Bartham right now. I just think he's really
Yeah.
weird. Just drinking out of a cow.
I just imagine that when he took a sip, he just like fell right over. Like he just fell right on the ground and has been staring at the sky.
It's like, that's why you don't drink milk that's not been pasteurized. But, you know.
It's like that.
I'm gonna sit straight the fuck up.
Alice is like hugging the cow and then rubbing her cheek up against it.
Like,
Really likes this cow.
Yeah, Frankenstein. Just watch. Straight up.
Barthon, you doing okay there? Have you ever
This
had cow milk before?
This cow is going to save the world.
What did you just say?
Good cow.
This cow is key to saving the world.
I'm gonna roll a d20 for doubt.
Are you rolling insight on him?
You're just
Yeah,
staring
because
at the
my
cow.
Okay.
my character is
Staring at you.
completely just baffled with what.
Yeah,
Barthon
no, that
thinks.
makes sense. Go ahead.
Barthon, are you okay?
Is there like grass nearby?
Fine.
What happened to your voice?
What?
Is there like grass we're laying on right now?
No, you're on cobblestone.
So I rolled.
Can you imagine
ins-
someone in real life being like, what happened to your voice? I don't feel like doing it right now.
Happy?
You see that Barthon's pretty honest about what he's saying.
but
There's
it's
definitely no doubt that he's telling the truth.
it's just really odd nonetheless. But sure, Barthon, whatever you say. I'll still have some doubt, but it's like.
Drink the
Question.
fucking milk.
I just,
I don't know.
Joe's eyes are like wide open when he said that. So I imagine
They're
Barthon,
bloodshot.
Okay.
Rumble stumbles over and says, "It's all love, man. Hand me some of that cow juice, dude."
gonna suckle.
Yeah. Am I short enough just to like walk underneath
Yeah.
the cow and suck
Oh
its tit?
my
Rumble
God.
will do that. I don't think any of the others would. Maybe Dwarf.
See a Constitution saving throw.
But Rumble will do that. All right, hold on. Let me go to Rumble.
Rail is just
Wait,
so
before I roll, I
baffled
gotta
about
set
everything
myself
that
as
he will
Rumble.
just walk away from the group and just start walking out of the city. And he's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go head to the keep. I'll meet you guys
God
there."
damn it! Do I have to do this for every character?
I rolled.
Oh my god.
So you go and you start sucking that tea, and your mind like shatters for like a full 10 seconds. You fall to the ground. You just see all these fireworks in your mind, and you feel like energy briefly pass through you, and you get an inkling of cow
Oh,
being
smash. That wasn't it. Had an inkling of cow. What?
the cow being important.
Dude, this cow is wicked high. He's got to
Hey,
be
Happy?
some top level shit. Rumble, get your ass over here.
Alice
Mimpy takes
tries
Rumble into a
to,
bush. You're just here.
but Alice tries to talk to Happy.
Okay.
Happy, could you possibly get some grass? Just like a random patch, just a small amount.
So Happy makes eye contact with you, walks 1 foot to the left, reaches down, and rips out like a hand-sized amount of dirt and grass,
A really
And walks
nice size,
over.
tough, nice.
and just holds it out to you.
Thank you. And then she grabs like the grass part. You can fling the dirt any direction you want. It's fine.
And he doesn't break eye contact. He takes the dirt and he just eats it,
That is definitely what mushroom would do.
and then blinks slowly as he eats it. And then he shakes his head and he's like, "Oh boy!" No, that's the wrong voice. "Oh my gosh, everybody! How exciting! I'm ready to die. Look at this. Look at this dirt. It's just.
This is a really odd image right
I don't
now.
know why I'm reading
So
this.
while that's going on, Alice
Sorry.
is just kind of ignoring him and then taking the grass and then trying to give the grass to the cow. Like, here you go.
The cow's still chewing on the same amount of grass and won't accept it.
Alice tries to put it. Alice tries like trying to put like the grass that she has. She's just holding a bunch of straws in her hand, and she just keeps trying to like put it in his mouth. Like,
Okay, that's
like
fine. You
that.
get a little bit in.
oh, yay! And then she just starts rubbing the cow's head. Good cow.
What are you gonna name this cow out? By the way, all of you.
John.
Ray's not part of this. He will not
His name
name
will be
it.
his name will be John the cow.
Can it be John McCain?
John McCow.
McCain.
McCow.
Okay.
Alice stares.
Okay, well let's roll a die. And whoever gets a
wait,
higher.
wait.
Also get Mimpy's input in this.
So hold on.
I don't know what I want to name it.
Alice is too enamored by the cow.
What do you want to name?
Listen, I decided to pay for it. And I know what name we're going to get
It was
it.
from the keep.
And if anybody wants to
Just from the keep.
fight me, they can.
Fuck you. From the keep.
Its name was going to be Mudana.
Alice just glares.
Joe got the highest intimidation roll. You rolled again. You can trade.
Name it Big Mac.
No. The first time I lost against Joe, but against the other gnome, I glared at him.
Can we name it Leonardo DiCaprio?
As long as it's a cow.
Winnie the Moo.
Winnie
Oh.
the
T-Bone.
Moo! Winnie the Moo! I swear to God, we're naming it that.
Mugen.
Please.
Mugen Freeman.
No, Winnie the Moo. We're naming it that
Let's take a
now.
collective group vote, and Kevin, you gotta participate.
Muhammad.
He just shit himself.
What did Dylan do?
Wait,
I
what?
told the floor shake.
Oh, that's what Dylan just did.
Oh.
So what are we voting the name for here?
I'm
The Moo.
not
Can we name
contributing
it
to
Dylan
this.
shit himself?
Winnie the Moo?
Winnie the Moo.
God, all these fucking awful.
God damn it, Bill.
We couldn't name it Mussolini.
Moose. God fucking
I
damn.
want you to know I'm on a cow pet pun
We,
name
we,
website.
we really need to like write all these down.
Rick and Moody.
Freaking Moody.
Jim
Mus-
Cowie. Grassilla.
Mussolini and
Ooba
Winnie the
la
Moo
la la.
are strong.
And
I don't even know how
whatever.
to spell like Mussolini's name actually. That's fine.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Winnie the Moo is the winner, though.
Yeah,
Winnie
so-
the Moo.
Winnie the Moo.
Okay, he is now officially a character.
He's a character.
Alice
First
hugs
list
the cow.
has been updated. Dude,
No.
it probably doesn't smell that bad.
It is.
You're a disgusting piece of shit.
Going upstairs.
Jesus.
I'm going.
Okay, this is Winnie the Moo. He's in the character listing. There also should be one for Happy, since technically.
Oh, that's true because he is technically a character. So yeah. I also realized is Alice's profile picture supposed to be like a cone or something, like a street cone?
Click on it.
It looks like a street cone. But...
It does look like a street cone from a distance.
Oh, actually, is a okay. It's just a really big cloak that looks like a street cone.
Yeah.
Running upstairs.
Okay. Fucking Joe and Harmon are just retreating away from the gas chamber right now.
He's going to the bathroom.
Actually, from a distance, Kev, your profile almost looks like a squid with all its arms cut off.
You know what? I don't blame you. It kind of does actually. It's
Huh.
It's
Leah
all,
Barthon, who has the background for his, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, because like I don't know. Okay, there we go. He's just zooming in. It's like I thought it was like supposed to be the gold color that he wanted originally or something.
Actually, I need to change Alice's picture until Dylan can send me the black and white version, and I can color that.
Okay. I should probably change mine as well or something. Maybe add a little bit of background or scenery, because that's just really weird now. I can't.
We have
I
so
can't.
many characters.
Upstairs.
Bye bye, Joe. Have fun.
Dylan shit himself and it smelled really bad.
Oh boy.
That's great. Just take
Wow.
deep breaths. Just take deep breaths.
I mean, I'm good now. God damn it, I left my phone downstairs.
He has to return.
He has to
I will
return.
be back.
It's just.
Did you have your headset in? Oh, that's not you, Joe. That's Harmon.
No, but Joe's cat scared the piss out of me.
Lord Nibbles?
He's fucking curled up next to the toilet, and I didn't realize until I looked down with my hand on my penis.
Wait, that cat?
Scarred.
No,
I
you're
want you to know he was
scarred.
scarred.
Oh yeah, I started peeing. He curled up behind the toilet.
Wait, Lord Nibbles? What the fuck?
Oh boy.
Having none of me peeing. What happened to those marshmallows? Marshmallows? Yeah, where'd they go?
Oh, Harmon, I also need pictures for all of your characters at one point.
I know. I only have like one for Dwarf right now.
It's a fucking meme.
What a fucking
That's
picture
Dwarf,
for Happy
dude.
right
Very
now.
peaceful.
I need to Photoshop Happy to be on a muscular body or something.
No, he's not muscular.
I thought he was a big muscular like mushroom.
He looks exactly like this.
He's the
Oh,
kind of
that is-
mushroom guy.
that is-
He's the
that is
mushroom
kinda
people you meet
disappointing.
in Dark Souls, basically. Dark
Okay.
Souls 1.
That's kind of disappointing. I had a different image the entire time.
You had a
You can
different
keep
image.
that image.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, there's no harm in doing so.
Yeah,
Because
I'll do
I
it.
imagine that he just had like a JoJo body or something like that, and just doing everything.
Oh, jeez, don't, Kevin. When I get my
Gosh,
fucking
cow,
S pen,
man.
I swear to God, if I get my S pen,
Why didn't you
that's
name it
probably gonna
Cow
be an image.
What?
No.
Why didn't we name the cow Cowman?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Besides the fixation that Alice has to cows simply because of the fact of Cowman,
I don't know, man. But okay.
Cowman is a living legend.
A
I don't
dead
know.
legend.
Yeah, a very dead legend right now.
Cowman is
He
not
shall
a
return.
No, he won't.
He's not allowed to make
He
that
will.
easy of a return, though.
He will not be allowed to be part of this campaign again.
Will not be the same cow.
It doesn't matter. The very act of a cowman does not exist anymore.
So you say, but I
As
still have.
fascinating of a
I still
debate
have powers.
as this is. Let's get back into the game. Happy picks up Winnie the Moo, puts Winnie over his shoulder, and begins walking out of the city after Rayold.
Oh, jeez, I have a giant crack on my back. What the hell?
What?
Ooh, there's blood. Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
What?
Ooh.
Well, that was 0 to 100 real quick.
Very quick. Yeah, I have the means.
Died.
Nothing will surpass the Cowman 1, but Cowman 2, so much more.
Cowman
So-
1 were coming, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, Happy is basically your cowman, but except he just doesn't fight unless.
No, he needs to have a cow head. That's how this works.
No.
That's how this works, Dylan.
Well,
You're not
they
doing
are,
surgery,
They are
Happy.
entrusted to you.
Yes, I am. You can't stop me.
I can't
I-
stop you.
No, you can't.
If you remove Happy's head, he dies.
Happy will survive surgery.
No.
Yes, he will.
I'll just never send you a Minotaur. You'll never fight one again.
No. I'm gonna get the head of a cow. I'm gonna get the body of some fucked up demon or whatever. I'm gonna sew the fuck out of it.
But no,
I'm gonna-
Cowman was specifically the head of a Minotaur.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
And if I don't give you a
basically, if
Minotaur
you-
to fight, then you can't.
No, I just need a cow head.
But that's not the same.
If you remove the Minotaur head, it's just a cow head.
Well, no, the Minotaur head also has large, like,
No,
towering
no,
horns.
No.
Just get a bull
Yeah.
head.
It's a cow.
No.
Dylan, it is a cow head.
Do you need to see an image of what a Minotaur looks like?
You need to know what a cow looks like?
You know what a minotaur looks like?
Okay,
I have a
I'm
picture of a
back.
cow as Winnie the Moo.
Oh, that's great.
So what did I miss?
Traven's trying to tell me that a minotaur is just basically a cow head.
Oh.
Cows are people too.
Oh, okay.
Let me send you guys in Skype what a minotaur looks like.
I'm surprised Dill's still going because he obviously knows the bullshit.
Yeah, but I think it's good information to know, so that way you guys can properly picture the head of cow man.
I knew
The,
what
the
a
head of a
minotaur
cow,
looked like.
literally
So,
because it's the male bull. A bull head does end up working for minotaur heads.
sure. Yeah.
So we're gonna head off to the keep,
Okay.
and
A minotaur is just an anamorphic bull.
Yeah. Like there's a multitude of different variations to the minotaur.
Like every other species, yes.
I'm going to continue this as long as possible.
Yes, cows are important too.
continue to keep uninterrupted. And when you approach the keep, if you remember last time you had seen it, it was kind of falling apart a little bit. Wasn't necessarily in the best of conditions. And you had left a significant amount of money behind for Rendophilis to start working on repairs and building it up to its former glory.
Well, it looks exactly the same, and Rendophilis isn't there.
Yeah,
Your entire treasury is empty.
Well,
but you begin approaching it, and you see from distance that it looks like a small castle. It's resplendent in how clean it looks, how pristine the dwarves that you guys had hired had finished their repairs. And as you're coming closer, the Rendophilis comes out and says, "Greetings, welcome back."
Oh well, you guys.
Hello, Rendophilis. How you doing?
You guys have really gotten this keep up in shape.
Well, yes, we did a lot of work.
Well, this looks like a fine temple to lay our weary bodies in. Ha ha!
Oh yeah, that's right, Randolphus. Just ignore these little people. They were part of Mimpy at one point, if you remember him.
How can I forget the wonderful Mimpy?
Rumble, Dwarf, come on, we're gonna go set up this armor.
Alice says thank you for your hard work while she's still on top of the cow, which Happy is carrying.
Oh, that's right, Harmon. Did you end up talking your fellows into getting back in armor?
We're gonna figure that out, because he's gonna go set it up and get ready for it. But Tonka's got to cast a spell, and Tonka may not be willing yet.
While you so we're going to do this in 2 parts. We're going to do first we're going to give the general tour about the changes and talk about some general stuff. And then we're going to switch over to Harmon to see which gnome is going in the headpiece, if he's keeping Mimpy or not. And then we'll go to we'll be talking more about strongholds and stuff right after that.
You mean discount Kratos may go away?
Discount Kratos. Who's Discount Kratos?
No, Mimpy, because he has the chains and he does like all.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
So, Rendophilis begins to lead you in, and he explains that he made the renovations you were interested in, which was shortening the length of these 2 entrance things. You guys have the map in front of you, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Shortening the lengths of the 2 entrance areas in which you were planning on setting up, I believe, a barracks kind of thing, and like putting guards there, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He had taken out the 2 side rooms, if you remember, and had made the study for Randolphlis, which was over by the magic orb area, which you can see is connected. You made a small kitchen right by the dining hall, not kitchen, like storage area, and Barthon's room was moved from the forge you'd said over to the pristine dining hall area.
So, should I be renaming these, considering that these were just all meme names that I put
Yes,
in?
you can. I didn't want to assume your guys' stuff. And as I said, the second floor so does have room for each of you, and basically functions as a non-depicted area for people to stay in.
Yeah.
Why did we decide that my room was on that side?
You
that
decided
was
it,
a
I
good
think.
question.
I don't know.
Did you want it somewhere else? I can move it real fast. It doesn't,
You
because that's just what you had drawn on was said bar's room.
What's with the question marks at the very bottom right? Oh, sorry, left.
Bar. That was the bar room for a bar, and then I still had my study next to the forge.
See, I deleted that, and let me put that back up. Because I it looked like it said bar's room, and I was like, oh, Kevin, writing bar.
I mean, that literally is what I thought it was. It's supposed to be Barthon's room, but I just say bar because that's just the meme of it. Okay, we'll just put back the bar. There. Better? We'll go with that.
So that's where he's staying?
No, well, next to the forge, I guess, yes. No, Barthon's gonna go get wasted every night when we come back.
Every night, a bar is going to the bar.
Wow. All right, so now that cancer is done.
What are we gonna change for the upper right corner again? I don't remember what that was supposed to be. It's besides being the armory and my meme name.
I'm still wondering what the bottom left is, because I remember it had like skeletons and whatnot in there.
Don't worry about that.
The bottom ones were like basically barracks. You guys, if I recall, didn't change the armory to anything.
No, we left the armory the same.
Okay. Oh, so it's just armory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it still shit covered?
Nope, it's clean. And so he leads you in, and there's some. You see a couple people milling about. A couple. So you have some guards up front, which you guys had requested. You have the two fish stall people from before in the kitchen. You had the map salesman in the library. And I think you had somebody working the forge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
we did. Did you guys
from the town?
Yeah. I can't remember. Did you guys have anything for the magic room? No, I think Randolphus was working on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Randolphus was carrying it.
Yeah, we don't know what.
That's why he's attached to it.
Yeah. All right. So, Randolphus starts leading you through, and he explains that these changes have happened have been happening since you left, and that they haven't really ran into many issues. They also did clean the upstairs chapel area with that whole catastrophe. If you guys remember when you were fighting the Manicore and the heart swung. Well, it was converted to that. You kind of left it open to be a temple for the general, anyone really.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was it for the actual room changes that you guys had set up.
Oh, okay.
And so, Randolphus says there are a few other options proceeding from this point. I wanted to know what you're most interested in. We could always start working on a wall next, or we could always start building up that nearby ramshackle town. Or we can always expend funds to go towards gathering resources and getting some income coming in. So I need to know what sort of things you're interested in doing.
All right, let us discuss a little bit.
Yeah. The very basics of what I want to think of is that we want to gather resources first before we decide to have a populated area where the village, because then, we have something to get them to jumpstart so that they don't have to start from literally scratch and then, get all the mess of we have to pay extra for our workers to make sure that our villagers or our inhabitants of our keep area will be struggling through to survive sort of stuff.
Now, understandably, gathering resources and getting gold that way, but building up the town would also generate funds, especially if we make transactions taxable.
Yeah, but then like we don't have anything for them to work with to begin with.
Well, so let me give some general information before we continue this discussion. If you do recall, you guys are right on the banks of a river, which means fishing is an option. There are fields of which you can begin
Fishing. Don't you mean
crops.
farming, Dill?
Farming. He meant farming.
It's a Stardew. It's a Stardew Valley thing.
Stardew Valley.
Never mind.
River, and then we're going to the farming. I was getting there. Besides fishing, there's farming. You can also start building up. I don't know if you guys are interested in building up like your own private army. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that because in case you're interested in sending them essentially on adventures, or if you're trying to build up your land,
create our own little nation. Yay!
Building up the town also is an option. Determining what you want to have done with that. There's a lot that we can go into. So it's very open-ended. I want you guys to consider this as try and think from the perspective that, you just recently became nobility and you have a keep, and how are we going to build up your small slice of land? So now you guys can commence discussing.
Okay. So Alice ends up getting off the cow, and then she walks over to, what was his name one more time? The
Randolphus?
Randolphus.
Randy.
Randy. Like how tall is Randy?
6 feet.
6 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
So like Alice like tugs on his pants a little bit. Gives attention.
Alice.
And then he whispers in his ears like, "Could you build like a secret entrance to a room?"
What room would you like an entrance to?
Oh boy.
That's actually what I'm wondering about. So where exactly? So I see Barthon's room, but where are everybody else's, or is this just not something that's depicted upon the map?
So, Barthon has a study.
Okay.
All of your actual bedrooms are on the second floor.
Yeah, not depicted. Never will be depicted. Just assume that our rooms are.
I mean, I will depict it. I just need to get a sense of how many people there are, so I can actually make it
Accommodate
the size.
Just make it like 10 rooms to start off with, I guess.
Well, you got about that. I mean, that's what you have currently, I guess. Essentially, between, because that's Randolph's studies. Between Randolphus, you got the two fishing people. You got the map person.
Right.
You have guards.
And the guards will be staring in the barracks, though.
You got 5 gnomes.
So you have like decent amount of room on the second floor. The kind of point where you could probably fit another 30, 40 people collectively, but after that, it's
Oh boy.
you're going to be out of room in the castle in terms of having people live there.
Nice. Time to
So-
expand.
I think maybe we should split our current resources between. Oh, hi, Lord Nipples. Between building up the town a little bit so that people have places to stay, and gathering other resources.
So I do want to continue what Alice was talking to Randy. She wants to create another room as a secret entrance to, a secret entrance that's only accessible from her room. I just want to know how much that might be.
So I need to know where you want
Dylan, unmute your mic.
You want like a secret entrance to accessing your room on the second floor?
A secret entrance that is only accessible from my room.
Okay, and what do you want that secret entrance to consist of? Where is this leading?
Just a vacant room that's just a secret entrance.
So
I
you
can add
basically just
everything
run
else
a
to
room
it.
attached to your room that is only known by you and Randolphus, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay. We could probably make it happen for 250 gold. Since it's on the second story, it's going to be a little bit more tasking for the dwarves to work on.
Oh. Let's think.
I'm gonna roll investigation to see if I can comprehend what they're talking about.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Let's see. Then if it's tasking for the dwarves, then maybe we could do it on the first floor. I just don't know where really we could do that.
It's not. It's tasking in the dwarves in the sense that it's going to cost more money to do on the second floor.
How much would it cost if it was on the first floor?
Where do you want to put it?
Let's see.
I assume I'm listening to the whole conversation now, by the way.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let's see.
Daffin's dark chocolate is really good.
Where would I actually want this to go? So I see that there's an empty room.
That's. I think that was a library that you guys wanted to do.
Oh. I mean,
What
the
the-
library's
no,
up there.
library's up top. I thought you had said study or something, but
This
you're
is all.
welcome to.
This is everything that I recall. So do not assume that this is exactly what it is, because nobody else wants to actually write down anything. I'm doing it. So yeah.
So actually, can I take Randopoulos with me to go and figure out? Because I'll actually do it from that empty room if we're not using it.
Okay.
Which empty room be we talk about? Oh, empty room.
E.
Oh yeah, because nobody talked about that. Because I was like, who else wants to study? Everybody's like, I don't need to study.
Alice will take a study. She practices medicine, so it'll be really helpful.
Right. So, what do you want to do for this room?
So I'm guessing like Randopoulos came with me. Am I away from everybody now, or is everyone just kind of trailing us? That's what I'm curious on now.
I mean,
Well, I presume we're all still at the entrance with him. So
I would
No,
say you're
I was
probably
taking Randopoulos with me.
okay.
You'll see
You're
the room.
you're about in the middle right
Okay.
now.
I'm gonna roll
the-
stealth and sneak.
It's fine.
So
See yourself.
Ooh,
That's.
I mean, it's the wrong thing, but still, that's just not working with you.
ooh,
so
yeah.
should I
let's-
should I
let me
just like
There we go.
No,
I did it right.
No, it's fine. We still take the first one.
So Alice is gonna take Randopoulos to the empty room. So I'm seeing like from the empty room here that there's 3 directions I could go to. Could I get? Want to see the bottom portion or south of the empty room?
How big a room do you want? How many blocks?
Maybe about
This
half the size of the empty room.
So
It could be like slightly adjointed, like only on the very like bottom right, if to connect it.
like this
So
kind
wait.
of thing.
Yeah, that works.
And you want it to be a secret room?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And how much would that cost then? Since it's now on the first floor.
About 50 gold.
Okay, I'll do 50 gold.
Okay.
Um,
And it's not
I have
gonna
a
be ready
question.
this time. It'll be ready next time.
That's fine. And then I'm curious, is Alice aware where Barthon is at the moment?
Yes.
She is?
Yeah. Very aware.
Okay. So Alice ends up walking back, and then she guess she's gonna see Barthon.
I want Barthon to just be standing in the middle of the hall thinking he was sneaking.
Okay.
Oh, Barthon, what do you want? What's up?
Nothing. I was just following you guys around.
Oh, did you have like any questions? Did you want to ask Randolph something?
No, I just thought what you looked like, what it looked like you were doing was interesting. What's going on?
Oh, well, and then she ends up being kind of slightly shy. She's like, I wanted to make like a secret room for myself. You know, like a, and then she kind of gets embarrassed saying this. And then she like asks like Barthon to come a little closer.
Okay.
And she says like a secret hideout. You know, like,
That's quite interesting. I like it. I think that's a fun little idea.
and then she smiles. It'll be like
Wait,
the
does
cool
she
item.
say ye? Does she say ye?
Yeah, she does. She does say E.
That is so terrible.
Oh no.
But yeah, she wanted to make a little secret room. So this is actually how I want to play it.
I'm gonna
Dylan,
pat her
I'm
on
gonna
the
let
head
you
now.
decide. So Dylan, I'm gonna let you decide this. Is Barthon suspicious enough to want to actually think Alice is doing something? So do you want me to roll deception, or is he just generally gonna believe me?
I mean, that's up to me to decide.
Did I convince? Well,
I think you would have to roll deception since you are telling him a lie.
not necessarily, because I will be using it as a secret hideout.
Yeah.
I didn't lie.
Okay, well,
I
Dylan,
think for this instance, you should still roll deception.
Since you are like deceiving him of its true purpose,
Well, I'm not actually gonna use it for that.
just roll deception.
Okay, I'm not gonna be using it for that though. Like legit, I'm not, because I understand where that thought's going. But now that because she's aware and understands Barthon was following, she legit is just going to be using that for like a slight extra storage room.
I'm going to hold you to that later on if that's what you're doing.
You will. That's fine.
Okay.
I also
Then
want to
you
make the
don't have
empty
to roll.
room. I also want to make the empty room my study. If that's okay with everybody.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then any other expansions that you want to add onto the general place, you are welcome to do.
Okay.
And that's for everyone, not just Traven. If there's like a sort of room that you guys are like, hey, it'd be useful to have this or expand this, we can always shuffle things around.
I also don't know why the weird hallway was there. I don't remember what that was for. At all.
That was like thing for waiters or something. I'd have to read this in the video. I forgot to write down what that hallways was.
GG, Dill.
Kevin, why are you writing so much?
Because I'm not part of the conversations. It's okay. I'm just passing the time right now for me.
Okay. So, Traven can go ahead and change the name of his study. How do we want to go about? Let's start talking again about what I had mentioned before. How you guys want to build your keep, and I want discussion from everyone. Harmon. Harmon's asleep. Hey,
Is he really?
wake up. Sit up.
Jesus, really?
He ate too much. He had too much spaghetti.
Underneath the blanket.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh lordy. Freaking harm. It's only 10. It's almost.
Dude,
Wow.
I woke up at 8 to my dog barking.
Oh no, I was up at 8 regular.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have Diet Mountain 8, but like some of us did.
So, what I was asking Harmon is that I would like all four of you to participate in the discussion to decide what you guys are planning on doing to keep going forward with the
There's
ideas
8 of
I'd
us.
mentioned previously.
There's 8 of us, sir. I guess you could say there's actually 7 of us. Dorf really won't put his. Okay, anyways, we're going to the Temple of Kermi.
No.
No.
What we're talking about is what kind of changes, whether you guys are interested in gathering having resources gathered for the keep,
Yeah.
or would you rather work on the town, or would you rather work on farming, fishing,
Resources.
building up an army? There's a lot of stuff. I want you guys to have an active discussion between the four.
Question is though, can we split our stuff
Yes,
between two things? Okay.
but just know that it will be less effective.
My vote is we don't start a village until we get some resources.
That is my vote right there. I've been wanting to say
But
that.
we won't have places for people to be. We don't
have
any villages. Like, we don't have to put all of our time into villages. We can put 1% of the time into villages and get a few houses up. That way, the people who want to move here
Okay, hold on.
that see this keep upcoming.
What people do we have that wants to stay at our keep right now that doesn't have a room already?
So that
Who
actually leads to a
knows?
great question.
Okay.
So, for your piece of land, essentially you have jurisdiction over your area since you are
Over
nobles.
1 acre. Yeah.
No, it's a bit larger than that. It essentially comprises of farmland, the keep, and the town. So the question is, what are? I mean, there's a lot of questions that we're going to be going into here.
Yeah.
But what are you going to say to people to convince them to live with you? I know you had mentioned to the goblins, who are here, by the way, and Adam.
They can sleep.
That-
They can sleep outside for the time being.
Well, they're sleeping.
Wow.
But you told them that you wanted that they were going to be safe here and that they were going to be kind of free of people discriminating against them because they're goblins. So, is that the mantra that you guys want to establish? Like,
Well, I want everybody here, personally, Barthon's view of it is that interrupted the discussion.
That did interrupt the discussion.
that's fine.
Anywho,
What?
the
Okay.
Barthon's idea is that pretty much anybody of any race, any individual of any race, can come to this place and feel free to be themselves.
So
Aside from murdering people
yeah,
and regular laws like that.
I would agree with that, but Rayold would be the person to kind of slightly object against that in a way, because I would tell you that, oh, how are you going to reinforce the rules or the morals of such things?
Armies.
So we're going to try and suppress.
So,
Or-
hold on, guys. We're now trying to think up some rules, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so
yeah.
Alice, just gonna pull up her pen here. Just gonna get some parchment, and she's just gonna kind of like sit down on the floor, and just kind of wait.
Alice, what are you doing?
She might doodle, but since we're writing rules, we should actually have something down on paper. So just
Yeah, that was another thing that's going to be coming up is what are going to be some laws for your place.
Yeah.
so maybe the first we should just talk about no straight up murder.
Well,
How about this? I'll write a thing for you guys. Let's say.
What can you just give us the general rules of the city we started in, what their rules are, and then we can adapt them.
I
in
can
Rubica?
always write them all down.
Yes.
Can Alice write them down? Because she has the ink and the stuff.
Well, there's a lot of rules in this faux constitution.
Alice can write.
Alice is perfectly fine. She's very
Okay.
young, apparently.
So, okay, you go ahead and write. Let me make this handout for you.
Okay.
What do you guys want to call this?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Well, we'll just go with basic keep rules for now, and we can change the name later.
Subject to be
How about
changed.
etiquette of non-dickery?
I like it.
Okay.
Very non-Alice-like, but all right.
Hey Harmon, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
That's good.
Alice is just writing like basically whatever is being agreed on. Right?
So,
So I also
you
imagine
go ahead,
something we all
click
agreed on.
edit there, Traven.
Okay.
But nobody else open that. Let Traven do his thing, and then when he's done, he'll be able to save it. If somebody else opens it up, it'll cancel his out.
Oh boy, time to troll. Okay, though.
Or not.
That's fine.
Okay.
Uh,
So Alice starts writing.
Okay.
all right.
And waits.
It's okay. Hold on.
So some general rules, for instance, is of course no killing.
Well,
so-
yeah.
Let's take that. Let's deconstruct it a little bit.
What constitutes as no killing exactly? I guess, right?
Like you allow, for instance, you allow the death penalty, like, for example.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, Alice, she's just gonna say like, I'm okay with the death penalty.
We're in a very.
I mean, if they've done enough wrong, they should deserve death. I'm
Oh.
personally under the guise of
Oh my
an eye for an eye.
Right, but what constitutes as too much trouble? At what point do we cut the boundary as this is enough to warrant the death penalty?
I mean, we could just end up saying common sense. Which, if we try to go into a description about what exactly common sense is, well, now we're just going to go into the whole morale or moral
Yes.
idea of things, which is not how
And then
actual
we're
law.
never gonna end this.
Yeah, we're never going to end this. So I figure we should
Exactly.
just take a
Anybody
poke at
who
it.
repeatedly breaks the law is clearly guilty and deserves the death penalty. Ha ha.
How about there should be a point system of sorts?
I don't like a system that has good points.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, go ahead and explain it, because that has me kind of interested.
Okay, well. So I guess, different crimes result in different levels of consequences, right? Whether it just be like some sort of rehabilitation, some sort of like restriction, house, whatever it's called, house arrest, that's what it is, or jail time, or even straight to the death penalty. Depending on how severe the crime is, you can mark down a certain number of points, and if you reach and those points will accumulate over time, I guess, depending on how often you commit these crimes, and then they will start getting knocked off over time, like they normally would for like driver's licenses and stuff, and so if it reaches a certain amount, let's say like 20 or 30 points, it will be under some sort of ruling, like court ruling, to determine whether or not the death penalty is needed for the amount of crimes, and depending whether or not the severity of these crimes have been will be justifiable for the death penalty. Like, say like somebody who robs like a stall or something like that, maybe like 5 times within the course of a month, that probably gives them enough points to reach the 20 or 30 points as aforementioned for the death penalty. Well, if that's all they've been doing, you could determine something else besides the death penalty, as like something like exilement, or like complete jail time for like 10 years or something like that, It's that sort of thing, but
I like it. I really like it. I like the idea. My only issue is that
it's too complicated for this.
Not
I
complicated.
just feel like the point system is unnecessary. It's part of it.
There is the point of the point system. I'm not too much on that, but it's mostly into the factor of basically if someone ends up doing, like, they don't even have to do anything bad. They could just do mean out things, and then the council or whoever that we end up appointing, unless it's us, ends up deciding if he basically has to kick the bucket, not. And yes, now, like you said, by your words, that they'll choose if it's needed or not, but then that also ends up making it so every time they always need to have a ruling if someone just is doing like a menial task and gets those points. There's no like cutting off a crop or having someone else do it.
In a way, is it more like it's kind of a waste of resources to have it done every time, sort of thing?
Yes, I like the idea, but we should probably take a lot of note. If we do want to kind of take this seriously, take a note from just how regular law is done, where it's like there's a lot of layers to it.
Do tell.
And how, like, obviously if someone ends up committing like a crime, such as like, oh, I robbed a store. Okay, he gets enforced. They go to like a small little court thing. If they end up having to do that, if he wants to go to court or not, he can decide that. They can't, because actually, like, that fact is like you can choose to go to court, or we can just send you straight to prison. Either one. And then they're still gonna have a court of peers. They're gonna have people who will either.
Well, hold on. Let's pause for a moment. let's take one final step back because you're starting getting a lot of democracy stuff. What kind of small government are you running here, guys?
Should we just go
Communism.
straight? So we're going straight democracy. Gotcha.
Communism.
That's never gonna roll, man.
The court of peers is us. We are the judge and executioner.
No, I don't want to be present every single time that happens.
We are all the president.
I don't want to come back to the keep every time. It's like, oh, you have 32 inmates who are ready for, judging. And it's like, yeah, all right.
That's the whole.
I would prefer a shared monarchy.
Yeah. Honestly, if you
constitutional monarchy or standard monarchy?
Oh boy.
God damn it, Dylan.
Well, I mean, it's an important distinction.
I know.
Monarchy, just have one person in power. That's all.
No, because then that means we have to decide who that person is.
That's right. We can just consider happy.
Well, it could just be a modified version of it.
Because the constitutional monarchy would essentially, you guys would be setting up a constitution, which is kind of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for that we'd make a page, and then everyone can contribute during this next week. And then hash it at the beginning of next session, unless we get everything done with this session.
I mean, we could just have all the layers that we do want for obviously a democracy, and just mesh in the whole monarchy part of it. We have a system to where you could potentially make it self-run, so it's able to just run itself without us needing to be there. But obviously, we're still going to be having kind of like how the Parliament ends up working in Britain, where you still have the Queen. And even though most people kind of consider her the figurehead, she actually has an insane amount of power. She just does not use it at all.
Let's go into
which is really good on her. So we could just have it kind of almost in the sense of a royal decree, where if something is just plain terrible, but the people think it's okay, which helps us in the long run in case something crazy happens and then somehow the world or people are getting brainwashed and our own democracy gets turned against us, we have royal decree to overrule it, no matter what.
Even if people are getting brainwashed. All right.
Because I like to think about the democracy is great until it's not.
So what I'm hearing is essentially a constitutional monarchy.
Essentially, but not. It's more on the throes of a parliament that's established within Britain, where you still have the figurehead.
Constitutional
monarchy. You still have a minister, all that. That is mostly the main person that is in charge, but you still have the figureheads, which would be us, that still have our royal decree and a lot of power.
Okay, so who is the person? Are you assigning Randolphus that? Since he's basically already been doing that.
Yeah, that's if everyone else is okay with that. We trust him enough to make him president.
I mean, we haven't seen him run away with our money, so I'd say so.
Yeah, sure. Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Randolphus is president. So Alice is just gonna turn around and be like, Randolphus, you're president.
Oh, how exciting.
I just imagine he just groans.
It is quite exciting, isn't it? Ha ha!
Isn't he just wasn't he an assistant to the king? So aren't we just kinda thrown?
I wouldn't think too much into
Is the king okay with that? That we're taking an assistant of his and then making him our prime minister.
The king had provided Randolphus. Randolphus was one of his top royal advisors, his basically second in command royal advisor.
Okay.
And he had imparted him upon you for Randolphus was given the option basically to stay with you until the keep was up and running, and at that point he has the option of leaving or not. And that depends on how you treat him and everything.
Well, I mean...
So, Alice is like, Randolphus, would you be okay with being basically the king of this place with us having royal decree?
I
the king of this place.
Basically,
Yes,
well, because they wouldn't know
I-
what a president is back then.
I
They
can
wouldn't know.
I can always put my I can always fit it into the budget.
Yes, that works. That honestly works, Randolphus.
And
Just
you
roll
see
it.
him, he pulls out like a scroll of parchment and writes on it quickly, rolls it back up.
There you go.
So do we want to discuss Constitution now, or do you guys want to just do that separately and then like, put out ideas in a piece of paper?
I honestly don't know what.
I think the
have,
best
honestly.
idea would be to do it outside of session. Otherwise,
Yeah, otherwise this is gonna
I'm gonna
drag
get-
on.
really tired and have to go to sleep.
And we all don't have the interest of establishing a government, like, because I'm okay with it, but I know it's really fucking boring.
I mean, I
Most.
don't mind doing it, but it's also
It's
like,
a Sunday night.
middle
You
of
have
the-
work.
We'll be
I
doing
have
it.
work in the morning. I gotta be up at I'm getting up at 5:30 so I can do a morning workout.
So let's do this outside of the session for sure.
So I put Constitution in the journal, and you guys can just click on that this week. And I want contribution by each of you. Put your name, dash, and
Oh,
then
boy.
your contribution.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm gonna forget.
I'll
about it
remind
till
you
the day
guys
before.
halfway through. But anything that you think goes towards building the Constitution, making rules, that's what that falls under.
Okay.
So
So during this, Alice has been writing. She ends up neatly folding what we have achieved so far, and then she hands it to Randolphus.
okay, he takes it and puts
Opens
it.
it up.
Does he open it?
back.
Wait, does he open it? Does he? I want him to open it.
He opens it briefly,
It's a picture of a cow.
then closes it slowly.
And then, but there is also a second sheet mixed in with that.
He puts it in his bag.
Okay.
So now back to the original point. Before we talk about what comes with the stronghold stuff, what are we going to put our resources towards? I'll give you guys a couple the options: build resources, build army, build wall, build village.
We need to build a great wall, and we'll make the goblins pay for that wall.
That sounds like a great idea, actually.
Yeah, I like that idea.
No. No.
I don't understand what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
They're just filthy goblins.
It just
They didn't.
it just works, honestly.
They didn't go through the
Those
same
shock
process
people.
my ancestors went through the process.
All right, so I'm just gonna go with that.
They'll shot me again.
So what? Which option are we taking here?
I think we need resources.
I'm still sticking with mine, so yeah, I'm just gonna.
So I type in the
We could
chat.
split it
My entire
multiple
Because-
ways.
Can split it also.
We can, but will we? I don't know.
Possible.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's do that system. So you guys put in chat the amount that you guys want to dedicate towards whatever option: resources, wall, village, army.
Poopy
Okay.
face tomato
Okay,
nose.
fine. We can go with that. Sure.
What did those marshmallows go? I'm mad.
System doesn't.
I
Hey,
think Bill stole them so I wouldn't launch him at his head anymore.
Probably farted
That's
on
the
him.
only place you're supposed
Yo,
to.
I bought that for you. I know what it smells like. Why don't you light it?
Good.
Why don't you light it?
I don't have my lighter down here.
Fucking start rapping, spit hot flames.
I also need your contribution, Alice. You guys just type in the chat the percent that you want dedicated to each thing. Resources, wall, village, army. Or town, yeah.
So resources, wall, military. What were the full options again?
I'll type it in the chat real fast.
Okay. So that way I can have like an equal amount.
Is there an option to where it's like enter does not make it automatically like send in the chat thing? You know.
Yeah, that was my issue.
Bless you.
That's why I had to send them separately because I accidentally hit enter.
I don't like that. I really don't. Is there chat settings maybe? Use advanced keyboard shortcuts. Well, this doesn't really help me now, does it? It shouldn't be an advanced thing. Oh, that's right. There is no 3D dice. Why is there no 3D dice? I'm gonna do that.
I have dice. I don't need 3D dice.
Yeah, I'll enable it for you. There you
Mine's,
go.
Mine's on. It's all good.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
all right. So I know how we're going to do this. Actually,
Roll.
this is a thankfully. No, we're not gonna roll for it. That's crazy.
Leave it
So-
up to chance.
Since
That
we
doesn't add up.
Totally does.
do some math real fast before I.
No,
Totally does.
What is this? Okay. Well,
Draven.
Totally does. Nah, I'm kidding.
We don't have 120%.
Yes, we
We have
do.
100%.
No, you have to do better than 100%.
Yeah.
we don't need an army at the moment, so I just say cut
I
off.
do believe that we should always have an army. I never. I'm very against not having one, and that is for a lot of reasons.
We're playing
Okay.
on RTS at this point. It's playing Civ 5 and Civ 6 right now. That's what it is.
I mean, it's going to have a
Except-
lot of. Your decisions are going to have a lot of impact on what happened.
Oh boy. Even if we try to, you know, moderate everything, keep it all at a balanced level, nothing's going to get done, I feel like.
I'm gonna redo mine actually.
Okay.
If you guys want to redo any of yours, do it now before I finish what I'm doing.
Mine is 100% solid right now. That's what I'm going with.
Same as mine.
I just think that's ridiculous.
I don't think it is, though.
No, we need resources, yes, but I think 100% resources is ridiculous.
I'm going to explain how this is going to work in just a moment. Basically, what's happening, and I think this is going to be a good way to make it happen, is you guys get to choose what happens with the money you contributed. So, I just changed the amounts right now to reflect the current gold that you have remaining.
Keep chest. Let's take a look at this.
So I just subtracted the amount that each of you, that the total gold invested, all that stuff.
Traven, how the hell did you do that?
So.
Oh no,
what
never mind.
will
You just pressed enter. Never mind. I thought you just somehow did all that in one go.
What we're going to do is we're going to look at the resources what you want to allocate things towards, and we're going to determine how much of your gold goes towards that. So Harmon, for instance, chose 100% to go to resources. So 212 gold is going to resources, right off the bat.
Wait, what? Where's
So this is actually something I want to talk about. Can we change these percentages later on?
So this percentage is what your current gold is going to be going towards.
Okay, hold
So
up.
we can
What's
we
our
can
current-
change it
what's-
later on though.
Well,
Later on, the money that you guys put towards the keep, you can choose what to do with then. And there will be some of the same options, some different options, just depending on what is happening at the time.
So
Alright.
I want to know is, are we using the keep gold right now, or what gold are we
Yeah.
using exactly?
The current gold remaining is 1048 gold.
Yes. Okay.
And
That's what I'm thinking.
Rayold contributed to 11, Alice to 11, Mimpy 212, Barthon 416.
Okay.
So we're going to go through, starting with Mimpy is going to be donating 212 gold towards the resources. We're going to go right down the line. Barthon, are you changing yours or no?
Yeah, I'm changing mine.
So
We'll skip that for a sec. Rayold, your resources, you're doing 80% of the resources.
yeah, that's what
So 211 times 0.8, 168. So 168 of that gold is 8. So 380 gold so far for resources. Let me see. I always put in 25%. Which is 52 gold. 42.
There's only 4 options, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, actually. Then,
go ahead and add another section to the keep chest of
that's
money put towards each of these 4.
okay. That's what I was doing. Investments and keep sections, and
That's
what
fine.
and then I'm just gonna list out as resources, wall, town.
Do it alphabetically.
and-
Army,
okay.
resources, village, wall.
Okay, army. Okay, so then I can actually have something to work with. Army. Let's bold that, underline that, so that I can actually see that stuff. Maybe colorize this too. I forgot that it actually has a thing.
Yeah.
Army. What's the next thing here? Resources. Village. Wall. Those are the 4 main things that we are going to go.
Okay. So resources is 682 gold.
Total. Okay.
So next I'm going to do village,
Okay.
which is going to be um 2 gold donated from Kevin for the village. Or
Yeah.
town. Traven has donated 63 gold.
Okay.
And Barthon has donated 41 gold. So add that all together.
62 gold here. What did Barthon have? 40 something?
41.
41 gold, and then the total will be 105.
All right. And next we're going to do the wall.
The
What's
wall. Yes.
your thing? So
We're doing the wall.
Yes, we are.
2 times.
Hi, Flynn. That's my leg.
Kevin, you donated 40 gold to the
Okay.
wall.
Actually, that reminds me. I'll send you something. Bill.
Oh, baby boy, it's okay.
Jesus.
Alice donated 42 gold, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Joe donated 82 gold.
82 gold. Mimpy,
Okay.
anything? No, of course. I forgot. 100% resources.
And the last one, is the army, which Joe donated 41 gold.
Okay.
To be fair, I should clarify. Mimpy had no part in this. Babar decided on 100% resources. Mimpy's trying to get ready for the armor ceremony.
Jesus. Repeat what Barthon had again, Joe?
He donated 41 for army.
Yeah, okay. Alright, good.
And I don't know who the fuck Winnie the Moo is, but no. All right.
100% to Moo.
And
Like
Traven donated 52 gold towards the army.
Because she learned how to properly do government from her father.
Oh man, she's... Yeah, that works.
Why do we all have control of Winnie the Moo?
You can see every option.
Winnie the Moo just wants to cut grass. Like, he just wants to eat grass.
So, let me know when you finish typing that, Kev, so I can open it up.
Oh, okay. I wanted to, double all this stuff up again.
They're the fucking marshmallows.
Hold up. Can you read out the resources tab? Because I never actually got everyone's individual thing for that one. Because
yeah, I can.
let's see, Alice, Barthon.
Okay, so
Mimpy.
Mimpy donated 212 gold.
Okay.
Barthon donated. I gotta pull math back up again. Donated 250 gold.
60%, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about this later, Dale.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Alice donated.
This is difficult to explain.
Alice donated 52 gold towards resources. Right, and you donated 168 gold, Kevin.
We want to make Happy captain of the guard.
Yes.
No.
I imagine the way that we make him captain of the guard is like we have like this little pin button, and it says captain on it, and then like we just pierce it into him.
Yeah, what?
And then he just is like, oh boy, that's pain eternal.
So,
and how do you change color of the foreground, I guess, right? Yeah, that works, I guess. I want to work on this a little more later if that's the case, but here you go.
That's fine.
It's all saved. There you go. You can take a look.
okay, so this is what it's all coming out to. Your wall, because of the resources you put in it so far, you're going to be able to set up a small wall circling the keep. It's going to be about 5 feet tall. It is going to be stone, but it's 5 feet tall.
That's huge.
That's pretty huge, actually. Yeah.
Alice can't get over it. So you're keeping Alice.
Barthon definitely can't. That's taller than him.
Yeah, everyone but Rail, basically. When it comes to the village, you're going to be able to get some houses set up.
Like 3 or 4.
So I have a question about the wall setup. Is it just going to be like a straight wall, or are there going to be like actual posts that guards?
Just straight
With
wall.
the gold that you've put in so far, it's a straight wall.
Just straight wall.
Oof.
As time goes on, you can make it bigger, you can make it thicker, you can add posts, but that requires...
Add
more walls around the walls.
Don't forget, you also can add any of your own money towards the keep at any time. So...
How much would it cost to put post up on the wall that guards could use to keep lookout?
Well, it wouldn't be an effective thing to do until you get a decent-sized wall. Okay. So... you're going to need to get your wall at about 15 or 20 feet before you're going to be able to do that.
That's going to require at least 300 to 400 gold. Maybe more than that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because Alice, that'll take 300 to 400 gold?
Well, to get it to 15, 20 feet tall, yeah.
Just to get it to that point. Then the posts, they're probably going to cost like 100 or something that per post or something. I don't know what they'll have it, but
I don't know. Post. Yeah, I'll discuss.
But like I said, you're welcome.
I have to discuss with my money.
Okay.
Send me a message privately. Yes, Joe.
Well, I was also going to tell.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but I can't really.
Put in 148 as well on top of that. That's my money right now.
Oh, so
wait,
you're putting in just 148 right now?
Well, I mean, if
biggest thing
Alice is going to do that, I am willing to donate 148 towards the wall again.
Because like it won't really matter to me. It doesn't really matter how far we get. If our security isn't good, then it just can be taken away like that.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
okay, but like, do you want to donate now? Is what you're saying?
I mean, if we're trying to start something,
whatever changes you want to happen for the next time you come here, you need to do now.
Ooh, actually, I can donate 100, and I'll donate 100 towards that because I need actually the extra money.
Alice wants to ask Randy about this. So,
okay.
Are there any like reported bandit attacks or anything within the location we're at?
Well,
heard while we were away.
To the south, there is a set of plains that is pretty pretty wild, as well as the desert to the southeast has roving nomads. So the likelihood of bandit attacks simply just depends. I would say that they are a possibility to keep in mind.
A possibility. That's all that matters right now.
And we're in the warm season, right? We're in the summer.
Actually, we're in the spring, sir. Man.
How close is it to winter?
Not spring. Yeah, sorry, winter.
Oh, we're in winter right now?
Yeah.
Mm.
The the world is a 6-month year, and so think of every week of game time is half a week in game. I mean, every week in the real world is half a week in game.
Okay. Yeah, Alice will be thinking. I'll send the message private. Honestly,
will Alice?
That's
be
a little
contributing
dangerous.
More? Will Alice be contributing money?
I will be, because now we're in the winter season. I don't know if Dill will apply this, but if we're in a season where it's cold, people get desperate for food. Game is usually much harder to find in colder times of the year. Bandits do tend to get a little bit more angsty, or at least in a world like, if we're following logic, they'd get angsty and desperate, and if they see like, oh, a new village, it doesn't have any secure walls and it's just starting up, they probably have food.
Ooh, this is
I'm gonna
a nice thing here I found.
I'm gonna put 100 towards the wall of my own money.
So I found something new to play with here. I'm gonna work with that in a bit, but
add 100 more to Barthon's gold, and then 100 more to the collective wall.
Yeah. Done.
Alice will add 200 no matter what.
200 now?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and add that in, and when I see the collective thing, then I'll tell you what's happened.
Okay.
Hold up. I changed something differently. Okay. I think that's right. You take a look.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Okay. So you with the amount that you guys are putting forth, you're going to be able to build 20-foot walls. That's fine. Go ahead and message me privately.
All right.
Yeah. And you're also going to be able to set up the first guard post. You can get one at each corner.
I'm good with that. Now.
Okay.
I'm satisfied, I should say.
Oh boy. I just realized that Happy was talking. What was going on here?
That's somebody I don't know.
So GG.
Lord Neville's.
All right.
Now, so that's for the wall. And what do we want to talk about next? The village, the army, or resources?
Right now my mindset is on this new thing that I want to do to reorganize the stuff. But
did you find the table function?
Yeah, that's like, oh, this is gonna be really useful. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that while we talk.
The next highest donated.
Harmon is unable to contribute to actual conversation, so he has to launch marshmallows.
Oh,
thank you, Harmon, for your contribution. We all love it so very much.
I'm amused.
The first, okay, so the highest is resources, 682. The second highest is wall now. The third highest is the village at 105, and the army's 93. So what do we want to do?
Well, I say we talk about resources then.
Okay. So resources, with the amount you put forth, your miners are going to discover a new mine. A mine. Ooh. Which is going to lower the cost of supplying your army a little bit. You're also going to be gathering a lot of food for the winter, both buying and you're going to be fishing a certain type of fish that is only available in the winter in the large river separating you guys from Rubrico. And
Should it be a 5x5 table? Let's see, 4 of us, 4 contribution. I guess that would make sense.
And of course, right now you're not able to farm because it's winter. But next time you come back, you will have the resources to begin planting. In addition to that, you're also going to be you're going to be able to start manufacturing books from the world map guy. His business is going to grow, so he's going to start bringing in some revenue. So collectively, from the resources that you're spending, you're going to be bringing in some revenue. Next time you guys get back, you will have 300 gold waiting for you.
Okay.
That's revenue generated, and that's that revenue we can sort on next time we come back to the keep.
Okay.
Still, can you keep that hidden next time though? Because I'd like it to be more of a.
What is this? I can make tables inside of tables. The fuck?
That's fine.
I just think it'd be more interesting that way.
Well,
What's Kev doing?
he's adding tables. He found the table function in the.
So it's so fun. Yeah, so fun. Yes.
While you since I already said it, I'm just gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's fine.
God, I keep typing.
I'm just saying, like, next time.
Yeah, I know.
Be more interesting. Come home. Oh my god, we got 300 gold!
Yeah, but we can't use the gold yet.
Well, yeah, that's what he said for next time. So next, we're gonna talk about the village. The village, the gold that you put towards it isn't going to do a huge amount. The main thing is you're going to be leveling the debris and shit like that was left over from that what burned it down originally, and clean up the area so you can properly build, and also put a few 4 houses down. We're actually going to build the town together.
Together? What?
Yeah.
What do you
We're
mean
going to
by
build
that?
it together. I'm going to screen share and we're going to build it.
Yay!
Oh no.
I like that.
Right now.
I like it.
What'd you say, Joe?
Right now,
That's up to you guys. We can do it now or next session.
next session. Voted.
So you're 100% dedicated to doing it next session, right, Doe?
Yes.
Right, everybody? Harmon
Yep.
as well?
Carmen is asleep probably again.
How dare
Okay.
you?
I'm
Harmon,
fine for whatever.
Contribute. Are you
Metal.
fine with building a town next week?
Well, you're only going to be placing down 5 houses.
As I said ye.
So
Okay.
I mean, if it's just 5 houses, I don't think it should be
Well,
too much of an issue.
you'll be building the 5 houses. We'll be setting up landscaping. We'll be setting up roads. That's basically it.
Oh, well, that will only take like 30 minutes, so...
Yeah, so we'll
Doubt.
be starting off with that. Yeah?
Doubt, you say, huh?
Yes, Joe?
I just said doubt.
Doubt that is
30
going to take...
minutes.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Now to the army. A lot of the money you put forth is going to be paying the guards you already have, about 50 of that gold. And we'll officially, I'll be giving you guys like a list of payments that you'll have to pay out to your different employees next session. Randolphus has it handled this time, but he'll give you the specific breakdown next session.
Okay.
So, and that's paying for like people's salary for the jobs they're doing. The rest of the gold is going to be hiring a couple more members to basically man those guard posts. 2 guards for each guard post, essentially, when it's built.
Good.
1 for day turn, 1 for night turn.
Yes.
Sure.
I need more water.
12-hour shifts.
Well, I mean, there are like more guards that are going to be cycling through.
12-hour shifts.
No, well, I mean, that's up to you guys.
12-hour shifts.
So
12-hour shifts. 12
that's
hour shifts.
that's the stuff that your gold is getting you essentially.
Okay.
So, since we're done with that, we're gonna go on to strongholds. Woo! How exciting!
God damn it! I'm not done with this.
I didn't join.
Have you read the book yet, though? Like
Yes.
all of it?
It's a lot of stuff. We're not going to be going through all of it tonight. We're going to kind of take it as it comes.
Gotcha. I was just curious in general.
Yeah. So, next session, not next session, next time you come back, we're going to be determining. Actually, no, we're going to set that now. When it comes to your military, you have currently 25 guards.
Ooh.
Collectively.
Nice.
That's the ones that you currently hired and the ones that you're going to be hiring anew. So you have 25 guards total.
Okay.
Which I'm putting. I'm just going to list it all in the chat so that way we can kind of just add it to the keep thing as we go.
Right.
So there's 25 guards total, and you guys are going to decide, I guess, what kind of weapons they have, what kind of armor. Do they have just basic leather? Do they have medium armor, heavy armor? What weapons do they have? Kind of important stuff.
Discuss that. I'm gonna still do this thing while I'm doing with what I'm doing right now. Sorry.
All right, Traven, let's discuss.
Okay. So so here's the thing. What are our options then when it comes to armor? You said leather. So what's the variation between those two?
With the money you have right now, you have the option of leather and medium armor, because plate armor is going to be more expensive. Leather armor is essentially, so we'll be getting into the rules of how warfare and stuff works.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Not today, but when a conflict comes up, we'll be getting more into that. Essentially, leather armor versus non-leather armor is what determines how good they are at fighting. Essentially, it is like part of their health and how they take damage.
Okay, so it's kind of like the leather armor class guys or the medium armor class guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a simple. So their armor dictates their health.
Essentially.
Okay.
And helps determine the class that they're at.
Okay.
So if you were to have leather armor, for instance, when you have like a squad of leather armor people, it's I believe 1d8, and then like a squad of medium armor people is like 1d4.
You guys get down?
It takes 1d4 people to make a squad.
For so that that's kind of it's a little bit weird, but essentially the amount of people that pop up are dictated by their armor and by how good they are. So
Okay.
How much is it in difference? So how much is the plate armor, and then how much is the leather armor?
So right now you've basically already paid for it, so you can choose what you want these guards to do. In the future, getting more guards we're going to be factoring the cost at each time. But at this point, you've already put in the money. You can choose, which ones you want, and it's up to you how you go about doing that.
All right. Is there any downside to wanting to use plate mail over leather?
Well, it would be medium armor over.
For right
leather,
now, it'd be medium armor over leather. Right now, there's no negative. In the future, it's going to be different amount of gold that you're going to have to put forth.
Okay, then we should just give them the medium.
I think everybody should be at medium. Do we have to say where we want guards, or is that just going to be a given?
That I'm going to be just handling that behind the scenes. When it comes to actual conflicts, you guys will be determining how we do that.
Okay.
You guys can choose where you're putting. Basically, when we get into conflicts with your army, it's going to be a lot more tactical based than our general combat. Think of
I
it
would
as
like
a
a very sassy person and a very mundane person as the two people as guards to enter our keep area.
Okay, so do you want so you want those to be entrance guards?
Yeah, these are the entrance guards. A very sassy person and a very mundane person.
Why am I doing this?
And then the other one's like, well, you know what Becky said? Oh my god.
That's actually why. That's why the second one is mundane.
Exactly.
So I need to know, what kind of what weapons you want them to have.
I want personally.
You guys
my
talk about
idea
I'm gonna go
is
to the
they both have-
restroom, so act as if I'm not here.
Okay.
Do you mean
Number
act
one-
as if you are there?
Walk away.
Okay.
Number one, bow.
Well, hold on. I think the 2 entrance guards should have pikes.
Yeah, they'll have pikes for sure.
I definitely agree with bows on the towers, though.
Yes.
And when guards switch in for the towers, they would switch from their current weapon to bows,
Yes.
regardless. And everybody should be adequately trained using bows.
Makes sense to me.
That's basically it. Obviously, we're still gonna have them wear the full, like, helmet, everything like that. Adequately trained, have the correct kind of armor. Later on, because this is actually what I was coming up with, because obviously with how the percentages are working now, I do want to change some things because I don't know how Dylan's gonna go about like societal things. I don't know how in depth the book is that he had. I'm guessing it's pretty in depth when it comes to like the statistics of armies or whatnot, or
Yeah,
like
I'm
just
sure
things in
that-
general. So probably like later down the road, add benefits to wanting to be in the army instead of just like
Yeah,
you know
like morale.
exactly.
I gotcha. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, you get a tax cut.
Get a tax cut. Yeah, that's cool. Or you don't
not
get to live in the poor district.
We're not gonna have a poor district.
I mean, it might be inevitable once we get a huge.
No,
place to
if
go
they're
to.
poor, they leave. We have no poor district.
Okay, that's how we're gonna roll with it.
Oh man. Yeah, bows. I kind of want to get. I kind of want to give them something that's long range and then something that's short range.
How about a bow and a short sword?
Yeah, I need to know what the costs are for that because all this has to be. We're also just starting. Like,
Well, yeah, but at the same time, Dill said that we could basically outfit them with whatever we want since we already paid for it.
true. Yeah, he did
Jeez.
say that.
Jeez.
So yeah,
but, I mean, he can also choose like, hey, only one weapon.
yeah. But
If
that's the case though,
50% have bows, 50% have
short swords.
short swords.
But yeah. That's
Wait,
real-
the front guard should have the most versatile weapon. Why didn't I think of this? They need to have halberds.
Yeah, they could have halberds too. Well, actually, why don't we have the people? One of the people that are at the tower that are guarding the entrance have halberds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they need halberds.
Yeah.
Those 2 are the ones.
Oh man, I can't wait until our army's like better developed and we can have like a royal guard.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love that.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. The comment short, like just to summarize what we were talking about. We want to give.
Surprise, we're
I'll let Joe do.
sieging. We are sieging the town, and we are taking that town over.
Yes.
Yes.
This is now. Before like anything was actually established, we're already overthrowing it.
Wait, are you talking about the main city of the world? You and your 25 guards are gonna go.
Excuse me. we
Hey,
have 5
hey,
gnomes.
hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
We destroyed an entire city with a house.
That was
Same thing.
that is an entirely different situation.
No, we
So-
can make do with what we have.
Okay, so I'd heard somebody when I came back say something about a royal guard. So that is a question. Are you guys going to have personal guards for
Later.
people of high value?
Much later, but yes,
Later on.
eventually at one point.
Right now, everybody's going to be created equal. We have a lot of ideas that are.
That'll be so much.
around.
So the
I think
first thing,
it's a mess that you didn't leave and tell us to discuss.
yeah.
Anyway,
The people that are going to be at the posts that are on the wall, they will be having bows.
Okay, so for a collective 8 people who have bows.
Yes.
Mm.
And then the other half will have short swords. Now, my question was, you did say that We can technically outfit our soldiers with whatever we can at the moment. Until later on, we're going to have substantial payments and be able to come up with what we need.
Yep.
Can each soldier have a bow and a short sword?
Right now, I would say that's fine. So everybody, all 25 have bows and short swords.
Yeah.
I would say 23 have bows and short
Oh
swords.
yeah, 23. The two that are going to be guarding the
are actually going to have halberds, the most versatile weapon.
Okay.
Or swords.
And they'll all be suitably trained for
Yes.
all these weapons, correct? Okay.
Correct.
Also later on, I wasn't too sure like how in depth this actually goes. I do want to do like benefits, kind of like to make sure to boost morale for them.
That all goes kind of under the Constitution, the rules that you guys are going to be making.
Okay.
Well,
So-
is it gonna actually determine morale and whatnot? Like, is there a morale sort
Like,
of?
is there a point to wanting to guard your village? Is that just wanting to go to some other village and then get benefits?
Yes,
that they,
yes, there are points both for morale and for building up your village.
like
This-
tax cuts if they're in the military or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so this session, like this visit to the keep, because you're going to have a bunch more visits to the keep later on. This visit is more so setting stuff up for things to come later on. So your decisions now are going to impact what happens to your keep while you're gone, what happens when you come back. There's going to be a lot more stuff happening in between arcs after this.
Okay.
Arc.
That
I'm cool with
sounds
that.
great.
Once
As
you
long-
get back from the Temple of Kermi is when we're going to be rolling out like more keep related stuff, and we're going to spend a little bit more time here.
Okay.
Right now, it's just setting things up.
That was just my main thing, just to focus with just asking those questions in regards to the military. So yeah, we'll have two that are guarding the entrance, have halberds. The rest will be having short swords and bows. They'll all be in medium armor, helmets, the whole galore.
Mhm.
They'll all be suitably trained.
Do you have a captain of the guard? And
Yeah,
if
we
so, which
Do
captain
we?
is it?
Do we?
I actually. Oh boy. Can we have the captain be the sassy?
What's the sassy person's name and gender and race?
Bold of you to
First
assume their
come,
gender.
first serve.
Bold to assume their gender.
Yeah. Jeez.
Both are genderless.
First come,
Jesus.
first serve. Confused.
Male.
Bale.
No. Act like female. I like female. Do female for the
I
captain.
always said first.
Jericho.
Male.
I was the first one that
Let's go.
said it.
Let's go, male.
Jericho,
Damn it.
male.
I want this sassy guard to be Jericho.
I was
Well-
gonna name it Rufus.
We still need a race.
Traven is probably the only one who knows who Jericho
What'd
is
you
from
say,
Seven
Joe?
Deadly Sins.
Dragonborn.
Okay. So you have a male dragonborn named Jericho as captain of the guard.
Oh, I was trying to think of a fun race. Because there's one race.
Black.
Yes.
So
Get to Jericho.
that's exciting. So we have that set up. We need to go through. Let's see. What's the next order of business? We're going to be dealing a little bit with diplomacy and stuff next time we come back, which will determine that point. Question: you do have 7 horses, I think, is at the bottom. Yeah, you have 7 horses. Are any of your what are you doing with these horses? Are you just kind of keeping them stabled here while you're gone? Are they for you guys? Are they for general people?
Say. I mean, I prefer to use them right now.
You are welcome to use them for travel.
We could
I
use some
still-
for travel. I do want to give some. I want to give at least maybe 2 to the village.
So here's my idea.
Oh
Well,
boy.
actually, this is probably a mistake. If Harmon creates one character this could be very simple. If Harmon still has 5, this is still very difficult.
Well, he actually let's put this on pause for a minute because that's a good point. I did want to get to that. So Harmon, I need you to act out what's happening with your gnomes. What's going to be? Just do that scenario.
Yeah, get all 5 of them.
Quick question, I always forget. What happened to the tower where we killed the Manicore?
The chapel area, it's cleaned. It's been converted to a church for anyone.
For all
Okay,
religions.
well, right now, in the middle of the floor, what's his face? Mimpy has set out the self-assembling armor. He has drawn the ruin circle around it, but he needs Tonka to activate it. So Tonka and Babar walk upstairs because they were downstairs at the council meeting. And Mimpy's like, "All right, come on, let's go. We gotta get back in the body." I don't think I can get back in the body with you. What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. We can't go around like this any more than we can go around and be respected, you know? The thing of it is, Mimpy, when we were stuck in that body with no way out, I didn't like the man you became. I didn't like the vile cheat you were. You lied to me when you let me use my spell on that armor for, well, listen here. I lied to everybody. You're just a pawn to get me to my next step, and you stay in my way. I won't hesitate to leave you behind. Shit, I don't know what to do, dude. Guess fucking what? Mimpy's gonna try and intimidate. I'm gonna try and intimidate myself.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't.
You have complete control over what you want to do, how you want this to
The
proceed.
problem is, I don't see Tonk. I need to get back in the armor for sake of simplicity and not being overpowered.
Intimidations. Assign those intimidations to who, and whoever gets higher, well, that's what.
Yeah. Listen here, Tonka. I need your magic. If you're not willing to use your magic here, then you can get lost. Head back to Freehaven and stay there for the rest of your goddamn lives an outcast just like the rest of us.
Happy. You were happy. God damn it, Harmon.
Wow. I am happy. Wait.
So, actually...
Oh
no, they're the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Let's see what Tonka gets for his intimidation of yelling it. Am I literally about to have to fucking fight?
Let's lose to yourself.
Fight yourself.
Are you gonna be missing a leg from now on if this ends up in the way?
Fucking god.
Oh boy.
It's not just a matter of going back to Treehaven, Mimpy. It's more of a matter of having to deal with you and everybody else in that fucking armor.
You're just saying this while this is going on also.
That's how mad you got me, you prick. Dude, we all need to, like, mellow out and calm down. Listen, I know Mimpy's not the coolest dude in the bunch, but we've got to be there for him.
Dylan, are we, like, watching this happen?
And I'll be honest.
No. Okay.
I kind of enjoyed being the leg, dude. It was really cool. You weren't the leg, you idiot. You were one of the arms. Oh, yeah, you're right. I fucking used that knife. It was fun. But all I'm saying is, we should, not fight. We just need to work together. I can't remember what I was gonna roll for this. I don't even.
Persuasion?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well.
A 0.
Listen, Rumble, I appreciate it, but you're not getting through to anybody here. Dorf. What is it now? Dorf. Dorf.
You okay there, Traven?
He rolls fucking persuasion. Oh my fucking god.
Nat 20.
Jesus.
Well, nat 18.
You make a lot of sense, Dorf.
Dorf, why can't you let things be easy? Listen, when we were back in the body, I heard rumor that there's some way to control the spell. Maybe we can figure it out one day, but for now, the only way we're gonna help all these people and keep getting the gold we need to survive is to be one. Are you with me? Or as Dorf said, Dorf? Alright, I'll do the spell. All my gnomes hold hands around the armor. And Tonka says, by the power of binding, bind us to thee, bind us as one, bind us to never be free. There's a big flash of light, and Mimpy's laying in the armor unconscious.
I have a question, Harm.
Yeah.
So your right hand man,
Rumble.
That's the stoner guy, right?
Yeah.
I was very surprised by the voice. I thought for some reason that voice was associated with Tonka for some reason.
No, Tonka's British. Well, he's Cockney. Babar sounds like All Might.
Yeah.
Dorf is clear.
Dorf.
Dorf.
Dwarf is dwarf.
But is Rombo intelligent?
Yeah, well, kind of. He's a monk, but he's also a stoner.
Because and he's the one that wants the Mimpy to follow his role?
No.
He did. He was the one who went out looking for Mimpy when... So I don't know if y'all remember this. Basically, Mimpy is the heir to the gnome throne.
Yeah.
But he was cast out by a bunch of... He was cast out by a bunch of older politicians when his father died. So he kind of grew up on his own, stealing and being a thief and shit like that. Until one day they realized the gnome government realized what happened and overthrew the traders. And they sent Romble to go find Mimpy so he could claim his rightful heir. But Mimpy didn't want to. So instead, as his power as quote-unquote king, he ordered Romble to basically follow him around. So Romble basically, abandoned his job of bringing him back and just, does whatever he tells him to.
Okay, so now we can go back to horses.
Oh, we're talking about horses now. Oh, boy.
I want to keep two horses
You're
for
all
the
at
village.
the table and you just hear... And, the ground shakes a little bit.
Well, that doesn't sound too good.
I don't imagine it sounding good.
Where's the cow? Is the cow in the keep? Is it outside? Is it...
That's up to you.
That's up to you.
Okay, I want the cow where Alice is, so Alice can pet the cow.
I assume that Happy is still holding the cow since nobody ever told him to put
Then
the cow
Alice is now back on top of the cow, laying on it and petting it.
Okay.
Okay.
So my idea is, since we now have Mimpy, not Mimpy and gang,
Actually, hold on. I want to try something.
we have Mimpy, we have Railed, Barthon, and Alice.
Hey, Dill.
Alice and Barthon can sit on the same horse. Railed can be on his own horse, and Mimpy can be on his own horse. So that's 3 horses is all we need. If we have 7, we can give 4 to the town. How's about we give 2 to the town and we keep 2 in the stables for the army in case it's necessary?
Yes, I agree with that.
Oh.
I don't want to give all the horses right out because the army would need some sort of fast travel, especially if
I would
something's
say
happening at the wall.
The ones that are for the town are for transporting goods.
Actually, this is another good question, Dylan. So in proportion to where the wall is and the actual city and the keep, is it a pretty good distance?
This
from
wall is specifically around the keep.
Okay.
Not the village as well. The village is going to require a separate wall.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yep.
So
That's why I said there's still going to be more stuff to pay off later on.
yeah.
I was under the understanding that the wall itself was going to be around the village itself.
No.
This is purely around the keep.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to be around the keep. It keeps the keep safe.
Yeah, it keeps the
as
keep
of right
safe.
now.
And then collectively, afterwards, if you guys decide to work on it, you can build a wall around the entire keep and village.
Which is going to be
I
way
think-
more money. you know.
Personally, I think that's my next step. Would be that.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm finished with the
With my
tables
money.
now. So, Dylan, you want to take a look at it to see if everything seems to be more legible in a way or not?
Yeah. You can also write down, change the total gold contributed for each of you to 0 now, since.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that idea.
That means is like how much we've contributed overall throughout the entire. Should I just label it a little differently? Because I want to make it as like a
Yeah, that's fine. That's
like
fine.
like an overall like.
You're gonna have to actually add 96 to each of those because those numbers are subtracted 96, and you're gonna have to change the remaining gold to 0. But yeah, I like it so far. It's really nice
Yeah, color code.
So add 96 to everyone, basically.
for the contributions. Yes.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Real fast. I know you had a question, Harmon. What was your question?
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Okay.
1 through 4 is Mimpy. 5 through would it be 8? Yeah, 5 through 8 is gonna be Romble.
Oh, that's
9.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna see which gnome had power. So the
Oh.
order's gonna be
Let's see.
Mimpy, Romble, Babar, Tonka, Dwarf.
I don't. Okay, listen. I'm gonna have.
I hope to God it's Dwarf.
I'm going to have to put a veto on Dwarf being the dead
All right.
because I don't want you to just be like Dwarf the entire campaign. It's not happening.
Fair
I
enough. I didn't think of that. That is Babar. I was hoping Babar got power. Would you throw at me?
So are you going to be doing Babar for this?
Yeah, Babar's in control.
So
I am the best. I fixed it.
So let me ask you a question. If you're doing Babar, do we want to go back to Gnome? Well, you and I can separately go back to Gnome Depot if you'd like
I have no money.
to refund some of the stuff you bought to buy other weapons.
No, Babar can deal with it.
What's class
can
is
he
Babar?
He's a ranger.
Yeah.
You should go back and get new
You
weapons.
should go back.
You know what? For the sake of simplicity, I'm just gonna stay Mimpy.
Okay,
Okay.
it's up to you.
Fine.
But I want a new character, Harmon. I want Babar.
I want Babar too.
No, Kevin. The total gold I didn't change, so its original amount was fine.
Oh.
I just individually changed the amount of gold for each person.
Oh, I already did that. Whoops.
So you could just take the total gold back down to the 1400 or whatever.
1434 is what it was.
Yeah.
Is everything else fine though?
Yeah.
Does that add up right? That doesn't seem to look right for me.
There's it should be maybe 1 or 2 off because I estimated.
Let me double
So,
check here.
Um,
I'm
you-
basically the accountant now. Okay.
oh, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we are off. All right. That's all. That's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, what let's see.
So have we gotten everything sorted out in a way?
What the fuck was that, Joe?
Water.
Hey, thank God. Joe poured water on my head.
I like having Harmon over
I
your guys'
poured
place.
3 drops on his head.
Yeah, you basically came.
Yeah, I like Harmon being over your guys' place. He can't fall asleep. It's great.
Well, I did,
Well, you can't.
but I can't stay asleep for long.
Exactly. That's the point.
Oof.
Lord Nibbles had ample time to escape my room. He is now stuck in here for the rest of the night.
So, I mean, I would like to ask if Joe, Harmon, and Traven can also like check in the keep chest to see if their contributions seem kind of right.
I did.
As long as I have like 400 or so.
Alice is the only
It's 512.
Alice and Marathon are the only ones who want military.
Yeah. So there's 2 more things before we're done with the keep stuff for this session.
Okay.
Do you mean done with the session?
Depending.
Depending, yeah.
If not, then we'll be preparing one other thing. So do you guys want to do anything in the library? Talk to the guy there?
I'd like to go to the library for sure. I want to see if you can provide us with a proper map to get to Kermie's place with the least
Peril.
rough route.
Okay.
Yes. And then also maps of the general area there,
Okay. So
like the town itself.
you head on up to the library, and you see a rather paltry display of bookshelves, not not too many items on them.
Ooh, that's
But-
right. I want to put in the 3 books that we got from Fior.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and, as part of the keep chest, add a section for the library.
All right.
Is anything furnished yet?
Lightly furnished. So, like in here, there are some tables. There's a desk for the man in question, and there's some bookshelves with a small amount of books and scrolls.
Okay.
In terms of other rooms, there the bare beginnings are set
The
there.
bare necessities.
All right.
So-
bare necessities, the bare necessities.
So he says, "Oh, hello. It's been so long since I've seen you. I'm so glad I can work here. Maybe more people will appreciate my maps and ask for them."
So Alice ends up going off and doing her own. She's gonna actually go to the magic orb room.
We're going to that next. You're gonna wait.
No, don't tell me what to do.
You're going to wait.
You can't make me do what my character won't want to do.
I just don't have to continue with your character until we go there.
Well, fine then. Alice is gone from the session. Alice has left the chat.
Oof. Oof.
Don't be a
Hello.
tyrannical DM.
I would like to ask your expertise. What the quickest and safest route is to get to the Temple of Kermie, and if we could get a map of the Temple of Kermie and surrounding area.
Oof. Okay, that's good for you guys.
Is that
Well,
real though?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have maps of so many places. Yeah. So the path there. Gotcha. And he goes, reaches, grabs a scroll, and he just puts your arms, Barthon. Then he reaches over and he grabs a scroll for the Temple of Kermie, and he slaps it down for you. And then he says, "Did you by chance also want Markertopia?"
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Any towns that would be on our route would be fantastic.
And he takes a scroll again, and he puts another one on top. And he says, "Look, that's guaranteed to get you there with only one encounter." And then he just shakes his head. It should get you there pretty fast. And
So we're only gonna have one encounter. Yay!
instead of two.
If
You,
you would have rolled a 100, would it be 0 encounters?
Yes. If you rolled a 1, it would have been a really bad encounter.
Oh man. Good thing
That's
we're
right.
decked out this time, right?
Oh, look, it's a death knight again.
Stop. Stop.
Killed everybody except for one
Round
character.
2.
When I introduced the
Dwarf is the only one alive.
when I introduced the Death Knight to the other campaign, they also Omer's party wiped, so that was exciting.
God damn it, Dill.
That life drain.
So,
And party wiper.
do you have any questions about the Temple of Kermie, Markertopia?
Oh, what information general information do you have?
So, the Temple of Kermie, the group of people that work there are a sect of monks who follow fate. All of them wear brown robes and frog masks to, pay respect to Kermie. It is the largest temple in the land, one of the largest buildings in the land, actually. Easily I believe the prior estimate was 20,000 feet long, along with 27,000 feet wide. So it's quite the massive structure. It is in a snowy area. It's kind of at the base of a mountain, so it's not exactly the nicest of temperatures. And there are like stories of whites attacking travelers and that kind of stuff, but that happens anywhere.
That's terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
It's pretty normal, honestly. Alice says.
Oh, so normal.
I'm gonna look up to Alice because I am shorter, and I would like to make that known. And say, is it real though? Do you have a lot of experience dealing with fights?
Unfortunately, yeah. And Alice just looks down, kind of having trauma. I'm getting attacked by whites.
What the hell has your character been through, Traven?
You're so young. How have you dealt with whites?
And then Alice just shrugs.
Sure, okay. Interjection here, though, actually, Dill.
Yeah.
I still have personnel and stable to work through here. With what do we have for those exactly?
Personnel, you're going to include the guards in the description I gave you. The name personnel would be Jericho, the captain of the guard, Randolphus, and then the names of the 2 fish people I can't recall offhand. Without looking at my notes, I'm not going to dig that right now. And also the guy you're talking to right now.
The what?
Those are the guy that you're talking to right now. Those are the only named people that you've given names to.
Wow, this is gonna be I don't know if I want to list all this out, to be honest, but I think we need to.
If not, I can always do it. You don't have to worry about it.
Jericho's the captain guard, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and Markotopia also is home to Raphael. He's a halfling. So, yeah.
What's special about Raphael?
Well, he's known for, unsurprisingly, his very persuasive nature. He's a very good businessman. It's part of why the Temple of Kermi was actually funded by his great-great-grandfather way back then. A little bit of old money mixed with some of the new money. And, so he's very partial to Kermi.
Intriguing. Does anybody else have any questions?
No, not really.
That was very quiet, Traven.
It's
Like
very quiet
almost
for
inaudible.
Alice. Because Alice is kind of embarrassed to talk to a new person.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were just too far away from your mic or something.
Nah.
It's not necessarily new. We met him once before.
I know, but Alice gets shy.
I'm just so glad that you guys enjoy my maps. It's just so many people just never ask for maps, so it's so exciting when
Fuck
people
you,
do.
Dylan.
There's actually a year and a half period where basically nobody ever asks for maps. They just, I guess, went willy-nilly. I don't know. It's silly. Don't worry about it. But I always appreciate your guys' asking.
It's funnier that people who should know the area are asking for maps, and people prior campaign that had no clue about the area never asked for maps.
Yeah.
So, Mimpy's gonna stumble in, missing one of the hands on his armor. And he's just like, oh.
Wait, why are you missing a hand?
I'll explain that in a second.
Give him time! Character development!
Not really, more of a joke.
Eh.
But he goes, my aching head. How's everybody doing?
Mimpy, you put yourself back together, I see.
Yeah,
Dolph and
we're
all the
all here.
others. Are you all there though? You're missing a gauntlet.
And then Mimpy looks down and looks at his right hand, and he goes, God damn it. And he whistles. I can't do the whistle. But
Wow.
all of a sudden the hand comes walking around the corner and hops back into its socket. And he adjusts it so it's fixed. Because it's a self-assembling armor.
Wait. Oh man, I thought like it was gonna be that one of the gnomes or the gnome for the gauntlet. He's just running, and then the top half is covered by the gauntlet.
Fucking Romble's running away.
It's like, that'd be great.
Nah, that was just a joke about self-assembling armor.
Oh,
Classic harm. Well,
Classic me.
Wait,
yes.
so what? My only question is, since you're bound in the armor, you can't really take the self-assembling armor off and shield somebody else with it, can you?
I guess that's up to Dill.
Yeah, Harmon and I had talked about it. I don't know if he remembers a bit ago when he had bought it. There's like an
Is it
outer
like a shell? Okay.
Yeah, the self-assembling armor is like a shell over another set of basic armor.
Okay.
That doesn't really offer any bonuses, but for the purpose of keeping the gnomes in check, is
The
happens.
self-assembling armor just lets me wrap around enemies, right, and provide disadvantage.
You could wrap it around a teammate, but while doing so, you basically have your base AC plus Dex.
But I can also do it on enemies for disadvantage, right?
No. It's when you put it on somebody else that they get disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can put it.
You can put it on one of your teammates to get disadvantage, for the enemy to get
All right,
disadvantage.
well, the literal description says user can command the armor to lead the user to assemble around another, like a teammate. I get that. Imposing disadvantage on attacks made against the creature for 1 round.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if
I find it weird that you called my party mates creatures, but I understand it now.
okay.
Well,
That's what I
because
didn't
technically you could put it around
And
Happy.
museum, or
Yeah, you like happy for
But you put it all around Happy and throw him into battle.
so yeah, that's you can command it to. That's why I didn't say teammate specifically, but it has to be like a friendly creature.
Okay, they have to be willing.
Yes, that's yes. So, yeah. That note, I think that's about it for the stronghold. Oh no, the magic orb real fast, and then we're gonna probably end the session since
I forgot what the magic room did.
it's for setting up our magic system. Woo!
Oh, that's right.
And Randolph is gonna give a brief description and
The elemental magics.
yes.
I don't understand this table as to why it's not like okay.
So Randolphus comes up and says, before you go about your other business, I would like to take you to the magic room, I guess is what one of the guards has been calling it, and discuss my findings.
All right, I think that sounds good.
So he leads you there, and upon entering, you see that there's this like pedestal that's risen out of the ground that wasn't there last time, and he walks forward, and he places his hand on it, and you see this like bluish orb of light split into 6 colors. And the 6 colors are blue, red, green, white, black, and
Yellow.
yellow. We'll do yellow
Oh.
for air.
Okay.
Oh, we're actually gonna have the elements actually have a play now.
So they're kind of floating around, and you notice that for Randophilis, the green and the yellow are much brighter and larger than the others, and the red is basically non-existent. Like it's very barely there.
Oh.
But they kind of spin around and free form in this.
Oh man, I don't remember what I rolled for mine.
You didn't write it down?
Well, I think the issue is because I was gonna be Baron first, and Baron was all necrotic magic. Dark magic.
Oh, that's right.
You could just roll 6d100, and then it'd be in the order of air, water, earth, fire, light, dark. And then you have 1 reroll if you'd like. While you do that,
In the meantime.
Randolphus explains that that he's been messing around with it and has found that people have. Do you want to re-roll, Joe, or no? Air, water. Here.
Do you want to redraw? Wow, redraw.
Let me write the order that these are in.
Yeah. Just let me know what they're in, and then I'll decide. So, air.
Oh man, your light and dark is pretty.
Water.
I like that Barthon is like primarily fire.
Yeah, it makes sense. It really fits.
That's like
honestly.
slightly satisfying.
It is.
Not
like,
slightly.
If I reroll, can I just see what they are? I think I'm gonna stick with this. I want the one that has the highest fire.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Didn't we already decide this, or this just allowing us to re-roll it?
No, this
No,
is
No.
he didn't.
Oh, nope. This is the one I'm using.
He when we first rolled, he changed
This is
from Baron to
Oh,
Barthon.
I
like,
understand. He
week
changed his
before the
character.
session started.
This is ironic. You're really weak against water now.
Hey
Oh,
Joe,
makes sense.
I still have a higher fire than you.
Oh.
You have 97.
I have 97.
Yeah. Oh, GG. That's fine though. Yeah, but on which character?
Mimpy.
So you have to roll for all of them if you plan on them using the magic, homebrew magic.
Well, I'm not gonna deal with that shit until you at some point want to include the whole binding amulet story stuff. I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, so you Barthon, Randolph. So go ahead and write those down in that order, Joe.
Okay, let me.
Joe.
Everybody's been generally writing it in like the bonds area.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna just write it down so I have a note of it right now.
Okay. So Randolphus explains that everybody has innate magic, and it varies from person to person. But he's noticed that after spending a little bit of time with it, he's been able to take the energy within his body and use it to manipulate the forces around him. So, in the instance, he's very gifted in, like I had said, earth and air. He has in his satchel a small pile of dirt, and he presses his hands to this ball of dirt. You see like a small green flash, and you see him start molding the dirt into a little bit of a larger shape, and begins to extend it into that of a short sword. And when he's done, the dirt hardens.
Transmutation.
And he says, "Yes, this is primarily transmutation magic from my experience so far, but and he swings it through the air, and it's staying in this dirt, like very strong, like dirt sword looking thing. And mid-air, he throws his hand out over again and starts transforming it into like a dirt bucket. And he explains that the magic that he's been able to use at this basic level is just dealing with transmutation stuff, but he has a feeling that the more time he spends with it and the more time energy he puts toward it and the more he learns about it, he's going to be able to expand his spell horizons, essentially. So what does this mean out of game?
Well, we get
basically
to train magic.
Yeah, so if you're interested, you can always start working on transmutation within whatever element you're like. And if it's a low number, it's something that you could still possibly do, but chances are it's going to be significantly more ineffective than another person, and it also determines on how far you can go. So, like, if you have
what's the threshold, I guess, for like where it would be like really hard for you to actually do anything with that element?
So, Joe's 7, for instance, was in water.
Okay.
So, at Joe's peak with water, If the air is like kind of damp, like it's about to rain, he can cause at his peak. He can cause some like light bit of water to come out of his hand in a small stream.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like
fire,
like once at his peak, he could create like a massive inferno. So
anyone looking for fire tornadoes?
And what's nice is you can, of course, mix the match. The mid game goal and end goal is that you're going to be able to create your own spells once you've spent enough time with an element.
Woo.
So basically, whatever elements you're best in, you can start thinking of how that might turn into spells later on.
Ooh.
I'm kind of curious to see what.
I just thought of a fantastic one between earth and fire. Oh boy!
You can just make everything turn into ceramic or something. But even probably you have something. You have something better.
I could make everything turn. I could essentially bring coal dust from the ground and then ignite it with the fire and just blow everything the fuck up.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Actually,
or other things such as gunpowder.
No. I actually want to roll my elements just like to see like if I could get anything better than what I have, because mine's pretty good, but I just want to know. I know I can't change it, but I just want to know. So really, that's all.
Yeah, you have some of the best.
Oh
like your
boy.
air is literally a 100.
Okay, well that's no good.
Which ones were you interested in messing with?
I was wondering if I can get like a higher earth level alongside with my water, but seeing as those are not really going to work anyways, that's fine. I could work with something with light and dark. It's just I don't know how to really grab those elements, to be honest, for some reason.
Well, is there light in the room? If
Clearly.
so, light is available.
And there's
You can only use that light element if there's light available. You can only use the dark element if there's darkness available.
AKA
sort of
shadows? Do shadows
Correct.
work if we have shadows? Like
Yep. So essentially this right now all of you are, I'm basically introducing to you the very basic transmutation of elements is an option for you.
Okay.
The more when you do things with this elemental magic, I'll be giving you XP towards that, and then that XP is going to be going towards changing it into more things later on, and eventually getting to the point where you can create your own spells.
All right.
So,
I have to discuss that with you later, Dale.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that's going to go into that work. It's going to be heavily critiqued by me to make sure it's as balanced as possible. And everyone's favorite way for magic to be used, using this magic is going to drain your health.
Yay! Of course.
Sure, that was a big surprise to literally everybody here.
Yeah. It's so obvious, right? Right, everyone.
Health and spell slots. So.
Oh, double whammy. Oof.
Yep.
Well, depending on what we launch it as, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. But, yeah. Can we make spells as cantrips? That would just drain. Can we just? Okay, Traven, hold on. I was like, can we by the time we can make our own spells, if it's something that's like quote unquote light enough or something like that, like really low on the HP and they're really weak on whatever they're gonna do, can we list them as cantrips, or do they have to be bare minimum level 1 spell slot or something like that?
We're going to go case by case basis. I'm going to say generally it'd be spell slot. I can think of maybe 2 or 3 instances where it wouldn't.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Just wondering. That's all.
It'd probably be based upon the level of which you're actually messing with that certain element.
With whatever I'm doing with it.
Like if you're just slightly adjusting something, maybe that'd be up to Dill.
Yeah,
like if you're just slightly moving something.
It's gonna depend on your affinity with the element. It's going to defend.
Can I turn down the brightness of the sun?
It's going to depend on the affinity of the elements. It's going to depend on what kind of task you're approaching.
Now that I
Ooh,
think of
so
it,
here's just one instance still.
Yeah.
I'm curious about. If we were back in the hall with the stairway with the torches on the wall,
Okay.
would I be able to like flip my fingers to turn them on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and with that, how much health would you say that would cost, just in general?
At your point right now, it'd cost a level 1 spell slot and 5 health.
Okay.
so
The
you could do that at the cantrip though.
yeah. Um,
So I
But he
got
doesn't have-
another instance I have in mind of like an example. So since I have 100 affinity for air, could I technically make a vacuum of like a certain size in an area that I want?
at a point, yes.
Okay. All right. Just wondering. That's all then. All right. Cool.
And it may seem like 5 health for that is a lot because it is, but the more you use this, the less health it's going to take for the lower level stuff. You know, it's all focused around this kind of XP leveling system.
You know, make sure you
So,
know how to manage your
but-
own attributes. Yeah.
The goal is that it's optional, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But if you want to, there's some cool stuff with it later on. That's going to be generally pretty balanced, all things considered.
Okay.
So,
Is there anything else though besides this?
I mean, I can show you guys the skills next week. So we'll end it here.
I'd like
Any-
to talk about Randolphus real quick though
Yeah.
first. Randolphus, is there any way we'd be able to start working towards getting an alchemy lab so we can start creating our own health potions and such?
Because lordy, they are expensive AF.
We're going to be talking about that next session, Barthon. That's one of the skills available.
Oh, okay.
That's probably what we can use the weird hallway for, because we have nothing for that right now.
The weird hallway. We're just gonna put a health potion machine at the end of the weird hallway.
So, alchemy is one of the skills. We're going to be talking about that next session. The 2 skills we're starting off with are blacksmithing and alchemy.
Yes. Carrying on from last campaign.
Yeah, and then the idea that I've had in my head is that each time you come back to the keep, there's going to be another skill available if you're interested.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Next time you come to the keep, there'll be another 2, and then the time after that, there'll be another 2, and then we'll just stick with those 6 skills for now.
Okay. All right.
So
Sounds good.
that's any other questions before we wrap up? I know, Traven, you had some questions regarding
Private questions, yeah.
Yeah. We
That's
probably not going to do that tonight just because I have Harmon here, but we'll meet up sometime this week to kind of figure that out.
I mean, there's open stuff we can discuss. It doesn't matter if Harmon hears it or not.
Okay,
I'll listen to your private questions if you would like,
think I'm
Draven.
paying attention.
You can, if you want.
We can.
Go on.
Technically, it's fine.
What do you
These are-
I mean, I'm
the
honestly
non-private
just gonna be going to
questions.
sleep because I have to be up in like
5 hours.
4 hours. Yeah, 5, something like that. I don't know.
Understandable.
Too little.
Joe. Good
What are your
night.
public questions, real fast?
Good night, friends.
Good night, Joe.
Good night.
For me, so regarding Alice, you know that Alice can't use spells.
Yeah.
So this is going into the whole idea upon the transmutation magic. How's that going to be working with her character per se, or is that just going to be something that is its own little thing?
That's kind of up to you.
What
So,
do you want them to
You
do?
said that your character class doesn't use spells, so if that's what you're sticking with, then that's fine.
Well, I can work it into like how it would technically, because it's in the same idea of, I guess, her affinity with the undead and whatnot. So obviously, like that affinity maybe applies to that. So I could probably work it into like obviously applying to her parts and the things that she's able to add to herself and things like that. Like possibly adding more effects to the things I have later on if I end up going into the familiar route. possibly doing more things with that. I'm fine with those. Even maybe light shadow stuff, since some monsters on a base level can kind of do that.
Yeah.
Nothing super though. But yeah, I'd be fine with it, I guess.
Okay.
And probably another thing. Mostly because I'm fine with talking about it since I already sent it. It's regarding the second sheet that I sent, or I gave to Randy.
Randolphus, yeah.
So in that sheet, my big question is it so